So, in our last session, as we begin this recording, in our last session, we finished up the combat in the Obsidian Mine, where you guys were fighting the Archons, that being Santhara, Kandakar, and your swift Echo Boy, Gith Yankee, Harkin. That bitch. So, after duking it out for about half of a minute, eventually
I'm proud of it.
It's such a great way to put it. Duking out for about half a minute, after the giant fell, seemingly bleeding out on the ground, Harkin sprinted down the corridor from which you guys came, and Santhara, collapsing onto the body of Kandakar, teleported away. Leaving you guys to go back to your mounts and trying to chase Harkin for a little bit.
Some of them.
You guys were unsuccessful, however. He is a bit of a speedy boy.
Couldn't hit their shots.
Gotta hit your shots.
Oh damn! Shots fired.
know
Just
what?
fucking, and they're missing me.
I need a hero. Because I literally was just told, go chase him down. I don't even know where he was going.
You didn't even notice that.
Bro,
I just pointed.
pointed.
I just
Dude, it's
pointed.
like the cop from Cloudy and the Chance of Meatballs. Just flip my wood, flip my wood.
Yes,
But
sir.
then he turns into a turtle. But he's
And he turned into a toil.
Nice.
So, that all happened. And we last left off with you guys, again, beginning to make your way down through the Obsidian Shaft.
Nice.
I'm okay with that.
It was so difficult for me to
So,
I knew it was. God damn it.
by the way, that will likely be what this session is called.
The Obsidian Shaft.
It's either the Obsidian Shaft or the Obsidian Path.
He
I
is
kind of like
tied
the
to me.
Obsidian Shaft a little bit better,
Yeah.
but
I said he is tied to me.
yes, he is.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I gave you like what, 15, 20 feet of roaming
I thought
space.
you were 10.
Yeah.
Maybe yeah, 10 or 15, yeah, somewhere around there.
What?
Of like roaming space around me.
Well, either way,
Like a
you guys
fucking
are
dog on a leash.
you guys are probably riding your mounts at this point.
He's riding with
You
me.
tied me to the horn of one.
John could carry both of us.
John could carry both of you.
So
It's,
he's-
it's actually reaching John's maximum capacity to carry both of you guys. So you don't want to do it all day, every day.
We're not gonna be here too much longer.
I was on, what was the name of the one I was on? He was the big boy.
Good boy.
Who were you on?
Big boy.
Does Naru still
think
have a
you named-
link to them
It did.
to know exactly how far they are?
She does know the direction, and it does seem to be pointing north. But it's getting pretty far away at this point. She can't guess exactly where they are, especially because she's never been up that direction.
Did Birdo make up his mind?
Yeah.
Alberto did
That
not
is
make
very
it.
I think I've come up with a very
Trying to
specific
find-
invalid
They're-
way.
I'm talking about the loot with the
Okay,
silver
just
tongue.
Ethan, what the fuck?
What? Pulling up dice. There's so many dice.
There are so many guys.
I
What
can't
do you
start
guys-
any conversation. I can't do it.
No.
Someone's got to start. While I'm gonna wait for them to do that, I'm gonna get this pizza.
I think that's like
I don't know. The word if. Preached it as if by way.
it is as if by the way.
No, I know, but I don't know if the word is.
How many dice are here? 1, 2, 3, 4.
I don't know.
You better win.
How many of those chocolate cakes? were
Other than
free?
that, that's pretty
There's
damn
3
specific.
log cakes.
So we just each get half.
And there's no
I don't
conjunctions
have it.
either,
It's
like and
based
or,
off of
but
whoever wants one.
Mm,
If you want one, you're getting the whole one.
I think
No hamsies in
it
this.
should be okay because declaring it doesn't have to be by that.
Oh, you
But
finally
the line gets by that.
That's my
are we wanting to run this
You
right
would be
now?
sitting in here,
Wait
so
for
you're
them
like,
to do
oh,
that.
No, I came home
Yeah.
from work and he just had it set up.
Oh,
Yep.
I guess that was fun.
right before I do it, I'm gonna Rocky Talkie direct to Bentar. So
Okay.
Okay. Since no one else is here, would you guys like to let me in on
I
this?
think we should wait for the other two.
If you want to wait, you're more than welcome to. I know that you guys are discussing how you worded the wish
Yeah.
and how and when you're going to use it and such.
Right now.
Okay.
So we're just gonna say this kind of happens as everyone else is getting on their horses and starting to move. So that way it's kind of just you and me
AJ.
and Jack.
Yep.
And the chromosomes.
Just an FYI, as much as you can,
And the
your
secret
character will likely be wanting to pay attention here. As much as you can with voices and such. So, you guys are making your way through the obsidian shaft. However, one thing to recognize, it is just past like 10 p.m. You guys have been up a while. You're bordering upon exhaustion. You've participated in 2 different encounters and multiple high intensity scenarios.
Yes.
So you guys are starting to tire. The shaft that you guys are walking through is about 15 to 20 feet wide. I'm gonna keep calling it that just for you, Jack.
Can you emphasize the
Shaft. It's
You
about
walk through
15.
the obsidian shaft.
It is nearly
I'm gonna walk back and forth.
perfectly cylindrical, or round, should I say?
does it curve to the left?
It's
Curves up. Okay.
yeah, it curves up.
Or
No,
worse.
the tunnel. Does it
No,
just
it is
straight or
going
does
straight.
curve
It
left?
is going straight.
Okay.
It's erect.
It's not gay.
Homosexual.
So
Everyone's mind
as
went to the same
as
place.
you guys continue, it's 10, and time continues. About what time would you guys want to stop?
Well, we're gonna do this like as we're getting on.
You intend to do this as you guys move along?
Like,
Well, we were thinking. Well, sorry to kind of backtracks the timeline some, but from what? Not really though. Anyways, but what we were thinking of is everyone's getting on their mounts and they're starting to move, and
You guys stay behind. a little
we
bit.
are prepping our mounts and about to get on, but that's when everyone else is moving along. That's when he and I do the interaction. Obviously, Jack is tied right next to me.
The chromosome 1.
The single cell.
The single-celled organism.
The single cell. Yeah. Anyways,
Single.
so
I'll just text you the exact wording.
Okay.
yes, and Warden. So Warden, who's been kind of communicating mentally with Mikhail here. As he's prepping the horse and he sees that everyone else has turned and moved along, or starting to move, he quietly reaches out his palm, and part of the palm, like part of my palm, slides back to expose the ring so that he can put his hand on it,
Okay.
so he can say it.
Okay. So,
And right before he does, I do communicate to Ventar. It's like, you should be expecting a guest. Please notify me if you receive one. So I send that over to Ventar. I know he might be asleep, but at least it made it to the main room.
so as you send that message, it does seem pretty late, so you do not get an immediate response. And as you kind of let the ring almost come to the surface of your arm and kind of hold it out, and you and Mikhail kind of hold hands with the ring in between. What does Mikhail say?
He's going to say, I wish to teleport my soul bonded at the moment I finish speaking this wish to the main living room of our associate Vintar Palmer's estate, as if by way of a permanent circle via the teleport spell.
Okay. So I'm gonna have you roll a d100.
Oh no!
One dead.
Why?
You may want to roll it in a bucket, because you
Yeah.
know how this one rolls.
That's gonna take 14 years to stomp on this table.
That's a 55. Or it's like right on low.
Can you guys not flipping tell?
He's just on the line.
That's when you
Either a
re-roll
6
it.
or a 55.
That's when you re-roll it.
Go ahead and reroll.
Oh god.
That's
That's a 63?
is that, that's on the line as well.
I can't tell.
Roll it in the
Better.
bigger
Hold on,
dice.
hold on.
Here.
I think that's a 63.
No, yeah, it is leaning more towards.
Okay.
I'm not lying.
We'll call it a 63. Okay. So as you guys
Over
are
69.
clasping hands,
Nice.
you see again the fire genie come up, look at you, Mikhail, and say, "Your wish is granted." And then he floats back into the ring.
How much noise did that make? Did anyone notice?
A big plume of red smoke came from the ring.
So the party just turns around and they
So
just
everybody just turns around and he goes,
What I'm wondering is what's
Whoa.
yours?
Oh.
"Your wish
Oh.
is granted.
Oh.
You have one more." I'm sure he
Uh.
uses his, and as he says that, he kind of floats back down into the ring.
as soon as he's back into the ring, I close my palm and let the ring retract back into me.
Okay. As this happens, I'm sure there are some exclamations from Nara.
Yeah.
And Trey included.
I can call Claire right now and see what she says.
Yes.
Nari reaction.
Maybe a good idea for
I gave my reaction. I just
Yeah.
will go.
I'm just
Oh.
staring.
Because I don't even know what the fuck he said. I just saw a big genie come out of ring.
Hey, let me describe the scene for you and tell you what was just said, so that Nari can have her reaction moment, because we want to know what she would say. So, everyone was getting on their mounts and starting to move further into the tunnel, because you have your little sense the need. You can tell that they are still going north.
Actually, because I died, my concentration would have been broken and I would have not been able to keep up that spell.
Good catch. Either way, we're going north. And we're continuing down the tunnel. But as everyone was on their mounts and starting to move, Mikhail and Warden were the last two on their mounts. But right before they got onto their mounts, Warden turned to Mikhail, held out his hand, and exposed a part of his palm that showed the ring. And for a brief moment, we held hands. And Mikhail wished this. Mikhail's wished this. It said, "I wish to teleport my soul bonded at the moment I finish speaking this wish to the main living room of our associate Ventar Quintomeris' estate, as if by way of permanent circle via the teleport spell." And as soon as that was spoken, you have to be very specific with wishes. Anyways, and
What
as
is being transported?
his soul bonded, his sister.
Oh, okay, got it.
And immediately a big plume of red smoke appeared, and out from the smoke came the genie, and he said, "Your wish is granted," and then retracted back into the ring, and then I closed my palm back up.
Okay.
Well, that made a big scene, and it caused the majority of the party to turn around. What's Nari's reaction?
So I heard it or no?
Nari would know that the Ring of Wish was just used.
We've all seen the genie before, except for the wizard.
Except for the chromosome one.
Said no. Sorry, that's what I'm confused on.
Would you have heard the wish being said? Will you let me know? No, you would not have. You would have been towards the front of the party.
Okay, well, if I recognize the genie, I'm gonna say, well, that better have been for his sister and it's about damn time.
Warden would turn and look at Nari and just give a slight nod. Okay.
Alright, bye, Claire.
Now let's go kill something.
Let's go kill something.
That's a high level
Alright.
setting. How many words
Thank
in
you.
it?
That's a very high level
We just knew
setting.
it was a pretty big moment, so we just wanted to know what you thought.
Okay, that's what I think.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay.
Also, I have dancing lights illuminating the shaft as we walk.
Damn, bro, that was like
That's
a
not
little
fun.
anticlimactic. I was expecting a little bigger reaction.
I think she's been expecting it for
She
some
has
time.
been expecting it for quite a
Yeah.
while.
However, I'm more curious, how does Trake respond?
There's a good 10 seconds of just silence. not open mouth silence. And I think that you're gonna have to make a dexterity saving throw.
Here we go.
Which one?
Which
Mike
one?
or Warden?
Mike is the one who is using that, right?
We are literally like right
They're
next to
they're
each other.
holding hands
They
and they
yeah.
let go as you turn around. So you don't know which one actually cast it.
We like.
Can I make an insight check?
We're still standing like within a foot of each other.
Oh wait, it doesn't matter. You guys are like right next to each other?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Spirit Guardian like appears right between you guys then. So it's not a high
Spirit
dexterity
Guardian?
check,
Spirit
but
Guardians is around
it is just a plume of fire that suddenly appears.
That would not be Spirit
16.
Guardians.
Spirit Guardian
It's-
is.
It's not called Spirit Guardian, it's something else. Spirit something.
Flaming.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, are you talking about flaming?
It's a feature.
What class?
Summon Wildfire Spirit. That's what it
Wildfire
says.
Spirit. I was gonna say.
Oh, he's a wildfire druid.
Yeah.
That's
I
what
was
I
gonna say
thought.
Spirit Guardians, bro. That's a spell around you. I don't know what you're on about. So as the
Yeah,
spirit
sorry.
appears, both of you guys need to make a dex save.
16.
Mine.
If it's a chunky ass dice, I wanna buy a boulder dice.
He now wants to buy it.
23.
Fail.
That's a success.
6.
Success.
That's a double.
15, but I have resistance.
15. So
but I don't
That's an
have
actual failure?
yeah, that is an actual failure, and and since
only
you bypass
2d6.
resistance, he takes
Full
the
damage.
full couple damage this will deal.
Whole 2 damage.
Okay, you're about to take 2d6 fire damage. It shouldn't be that bad. Both ones, you're welcome. 2 damage.
Damn, you really did roll
Bro
2
did
damage.
not have the heart in him to truly roast you.
Yeah,
Exactly,
really
like that-
good.
It was to make a point. It was meant to make a point. Alright, so that just bursts in between you guys into existence, and then Trake,
The wildfire
as
spirit
big as he can possibly make himself, like walks up to you guys, and he is fuming.
is the wildfire spirit like physical?
Yes. Like there is a physical spirit of flame beside you.
Question: would he think of them as
What you
a-
doing
as
there,
a
bud?
enemy now?
He knows him as a friend.
We-
He's very fucking confused right now.
Got it. Just
I
Rowan, Big Blue, Big Blue. He's not speaking, but it's like Big Blue and Flame.
No,
Oh,
no, it's.
why are they fighting each other?
No, it's the
wait,
guy.
hold on. He just harmed.
Yeah, that's what I brought up.
They're both allies. He wouldn't attack anybody, but he's
No,
so
I would be
confused.
fucking like, what the fuck is going on?
That's what I
No,
brought up.
okay, you know the meme
What
where
about-
the black guy that goes like, yeah, that's literally that's his reaction right now.
So like I can.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it is
I'm
destroyed.
just like, what is it?
It has it has hit points. Correct.
So Trake goes up to the two of them.
It has quite a few hit points. Oh my god.
So as you're walking up, Warden reaches out to the spirit, grabs it with one hand, and then takes all 4 hands and kind of just like encapsulates it so that the burning effect only basically affects him.
Alright, see, he's walking up to you guys, and he is fuming. And he sees you grab the elemental, so he just goes like this, it disappears. And he says, guys, we have talked about this many times in the past. And every single time, do you know what my stance has been on it? Nari, you agree? Nari's not talking. Listen. Listen, there hasn't been one time where I said that you should ever use this thing. And now you used it. Alright, it wasn't important. You have no reason to use it. And you don't have any reason. Yeah. So with you, what could you possibly whisper? Did you whisper your sister to come back? We could have gone to the safer. We're on our way to do that now. We saw people with her pretty recently, and we could have talked about this a lot more. I don't know what you whisper. You could have just made it so she's outside of time. She could be dead now. Do you understand what you just did?
Warden puts a shoulder. It's probably still very warm. Puts a hand on Trake's shoulder and gets down on a knee and says, "Those 3 that we have now faced multiple times have used his sister as a bargaining chip and a driving motive to get this party moving without thinking, moving dangerously, making rash decisions, and all of the above. The fact that they just
Keep your sister on the way. You're saying that this wasn't a rash decision? You talked to no one about what you wished for. This could be way worse. Her sister could now be dead.
I'm just going to reiterate the exact wording of my wish to Trake.
Okay.
And I'm just going to
I roll an insight check
Sure, go ahead.
to see if that was well done.
Wish fate.
Alright, plus 8.
Physically counter spell wish at my level.
Alright, I rolled a 10, so that's an 18.
Oh.
He's not lying.
I thought you were rolling.
Oh, I wasn't worried if you were lying. I believe you. I just want to know if that was well worded.
According to your knowledge of, you don't know the arcane very well, because you know druidic magics, but it
Right.
seems pretty well worded from what you could tell.
Warden continues after he's done. He says, the fact that those three escaped meant that his sister was already dead if we did not do something. If she dies, due to this wish, Mikhail decided to take his.
Gorsh says womp womp.
Mikhail took the risk, and I made a promise to him.
We would not have made it to her before her death. And I can guarantee you, if this does go sideways, then it'll be significantly less painful.
To know that we at least tried.
Also, if she's dead, I'll know.
Yeah.
Is she dead? Is she dead?
Doesn't seem to be.
Roll a death check.
She's not dead.
Roll a death saving throw.
Or that saving throw.
Fuck! Simul that.
Mikhail suddenly collapses in his soul bonded partner, just leeching off of his own soul to survive.
As he's like, she's not dead.
You take 2
I
points of
just, like,
damage. You take
pass
4
out.
points of damage. Roll a d6 every round to keep her alive.
Start giving this man
So as you guys are sitting here arguing, Trake, does Trake have anything more to add to this conversation?
No, it does seem that he's been not wanting this to happen for a long time. And he's disappointed not only in you guys, but also himself for letting it. And so he's going to be quiet about this for the time being.
As you guys are finishing this, and things seem to calm down, you finish settling your mounts, and then, Mike, as you're throwing the last of your supplies and about to hop onto the saddle, you hear a faint, almost explosion coming from the, like, far down the top of the entrance to the cave.
They blew up the entrance.
And then you hear another. And then you really start to tune in, and over the next 20, 30 seconds, you hear about a dozen more shots. You wouldn't guess these are explosions. These are probably gunshots of some kind.
Nice.
And then it stops.
Alright.
It's a tunnel, so it can echo for a while.
Yeah,
And
you
it's
guess
obsidian.
this is real.
I have advantage on initiative. I cut roll twice.
Solid distance from here, right?
You would guess it's probably pretty
What's
far.
that from? Alert? No. What is it?
And it's from in front of us, right?
No, it's from behind you guys.
Oh, it's from behind us.
You're the last one to saddle up. You're the
Says to
closest to
only
that
one
side.
Okay.
Do you Captain
And even then, it's somewhat faint.
Alert would give you a +5. Or some barbarian feature.
How many shots were there total?
Go to
By the
Probably
way,
about 15.
Jack,
20.
Jack, just so you know,
Okay.
you're sitting in front of me. Just so you know.
I'm going to let the party know.
No,
So as you guys are all finishing getting settled up and mounting, you guys just see Mike behind kind of listening into something as his feathers twitch and his ears kind of prick up. He waits for another
Wait.
10-15 seconds.
Bird has ears?
Like owls.
That's a little messed up.
They have a cloaca, it does everything.
No, not the wait.
Yeah. Just little pops that are like almost tufts of feathers. They are still humanoid features of some sort. So, and then he's like, we should get moving.
Can I roll a history to remember if any of the guards that we had encountered that were like the Dwarven Guard, if they had firearms?
No, none of them did.
None of them did?
It's not their style.
Who the fuck has a gun?
They'll
The
build them, though.
dwarven guards were often armed with some kind of halberd or glaive that was shortened and almost used more like a spear so that they could still wield a shield. And then they would have some form of short sword and dagger at their side. That was the average Windominator guard from what you guys have seen so far. And they look tough. They're tough nuggets, but they're
not gun.
not gunmen. No.
They're not Gundams.
They're not condoms.
Okay.
Get
So-
the next GG.
We'll get moving, I guess.
You guys begin moving through the obsidian shaft. How far do you move tonight? Because you will very quickly put yourselves to the first level of exhaustion.
Is there another corridor or an offshoot to a corridor? Any point in this?
As soon as you guys enter the shaft, how far do you go? Because 30 minutes down, you still do not find an offshoot.
Wow. I can't remember. Did clerics need long rest?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bards are the one with short rest.
No.
Hey.
Warlocks.
Bards are the no.
Warlocks.
Warlocks are the only short resters. Wizards can get some spell slots back on short
And they
rest.
can only
I
move
have
up to a
my-
6th level, I believe.
I know bards
Does-
get bardic inspiration back in the short rest.
What
At
about
least with the class that I.
Do druids prepare spells?
Yes, druids are prepared based.
Also, I'd have to. You have to
Does the
burn
druid
spell
have
slots
a-
to recover it.
Have a camp sanctuary spell
Arcane
or whatever it's
recovery,
called?
You choose to expend spell slots to recover a combined level of up to
Check.
6.
That's prepared.
They changed it. I don't think I that. We can just regain it.
Just regain one of your.
I've a lot of fire spells, just warning you.
Cool.
1 second.
So you're wanting like a sanctuary type spell?
Yeah, like one of those, like the hut spell, or you have a tiny hut spell, don't you?
I do not.
What?
Doesn't he? You have a tiny hut spell, don't you?
Yeah, I believe it's tiny hut. Hut time?
I believe we just. Well, I tell the party. I express to the party. I believe we should set up camp, but
I can give us some
we will
shelter.
need some protection.
I can arrange that. Should be able to fit all of us. Can't say comfortably, but it'll fit.
We'll put the mounts on the north end of the tunnel.
Okay.
Since he said he heard shit from
Heard
the
some
sound.
scuttlebutt. Yes.
Because I'm assuming the tiny hut's basically going to close off the whole tunnel.
It'll close off about 60 to 70% of the tunnel, and they'll have to, if anyone's trying to pass, they'll have to
It'll-
like scale this very slippery side
That
face.
looks like a boulder. That
Yeah.
just is there.
Yeah.
Are we wanting to set camp here? Are we wanting to proceed further? What is our plan? Because I can start now and just take.
I
some time.
believe we need rest.
Rest. Okay. I sit down on the floor. I start setting up my stuff and start ritually casting in the tiny hut.
Okay. So you ritually cast
Nice.
Satan's tiny hut. About 11 minutes later, boop, is a black ball.
I just
appears.
imagined
What's up?
How far can the familiar go? I know you can only
Depends.
telepathically communicate within 100 feet,
I
but I'm not
have
seeing
5
any distances.
I believe it's you can communicate with them for a certain distance. You can see through their eyes for a fair bit, but you can send them very far away from you, and depending like Pact of the Chain, or I believe it is for warlocks, you can communicate telepathically for miles. But you can send them very far away from you still. It's just
You can see through the eyes, if I remember correctly, up to 1,000 feet away.
I believe that's
As a baseline of the spell, or at least, let's just say, I'm going to say a quarter mile. So a little over 5.
Yo, I just realized that the spider lady is probably a Pact of the Chain, and all those little spiders are all fucking familiars that you can see through.
So I can telepathically communicate for a quarter mile.
100 feet. In the
100
spell, it
feet.
specifically says you can communicate
Right.
up to 100 feet, but you can see through his eyes up to a quarter mile away.
yeah.
Imagine
Yeah,
how
that's
many
right.
eyeballs there are. How many eyeballs?
At least that's what I'm going to say for now until I know.
Yeah, that's correct.
All 8 of them are just
Pact of the
looking
Chain
at
is
you.
fun though for
Well,
that.
8 times every single spider.
That's what I am.
Oh, just like every single
Pact of
spider.
Chain, flying familiar.
Yeah, I mean you can just see.
I
It's
can
like
see
fucking
you
hell.
in 3 dimensions.
What was I? I was
It's like how
What was I? I was Hexblade Warlock with
what was it? It was basically like
Tome.
how
Dude,
like,
Hexblade Warlocks can go.
I played a Hexblade
if
Sorlock.
here's the thing, if I'm gonna play a warlock, how am I doing
So I was
it?
gonna send Octavia down the shaft and see.
Octavia down the shaft. What is Octavia? You have a familiar?
A raven.
Yep. It's a raven.
not Raven.
Can I send my weasel with? My weasel
Bro's
scares me.
trying to kill your raven.
Wouldn't the raven kill the weasel?
Weasels are actually dogs in fighting, bro.
yeah.
They go hard. Either way.
Oh,
I'd send mine, but they're not well trained,
So
so.
the weasel that's trying to it's the weasel that's trying to eat this.
By the way, as you say that, and as you're resting, like the snake and weasel who have been like hiding in your clothes during this combat kind of sneak up, and you notice there are some more marks around, like just below the head of his twig. What would be considered his neck, or what we would call his neck, has got some marks on it, and you see tiny little pinpricks on the back hind leg, the back left hind leg of your weasel.
So they're not done training. Yeah, that I spend a lot of time doing that. I'm gonna continue spending my time doing that.
Dog?
Dog's back at, he's still with Jack.
I told him this is his last stay-at-home mission,
Oh.
and he can come
Yeah,
with us
'cause-
in the future.
Because after that, he'll.
Because he's getting close to where he's.
And who better to train him than a dragon?
Than a legit dragon.
You're right.
So, as you guys are settling in, and Drake is kind of like on his sleeping pad, kind of like wrestling with his 2 animals, trying to get them to behave, would you like to greater restore your barbarian?
It's so nice having it.
I'm just gonna send
Otherwise,
Octavia
having
100
fun.
feet down,
You're gonna send.
Oh.
and if she sees
She can see up to 120 feet.
anything,
Pure dark vision, yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Thing is
If
he's
she
still like.
sees anything,
Uh,
she's going to go batshit crazy, squawking and whatever, and letting me know mentally.
Okay.
And then she's going to plane shift out so that she can't die,
Okay.
and then come over to me.
So Warden takes
Aton.
Aton, sits him down, and sets up his bedding and everything like that, and begins bandaging better bandaging the rest of his open wounds since he's still not really healed.
He is missing a couple new scales.
Oh yeah. But after all of that, Warden reaches into his bag of holding, takes out one of the diamonds from our demon horde, or devil horde, my bad. And yes, with all 4 hands, crushes the diamond in front of him while speaking the words to greater restore.
Okay. So spending.
I basically crush it like right over him.
Yeah. So using your last 5th level spell slot, you pull out the diamond, and over the span of about 6 seconds, you crush it in your palms, and then you pretty much rub it on his scalp, and he almost seems to be absorbing it as the infected area being that of the brain as you rub it along his hairless scalp, and you just kind of press in, this radiant glow occurs, and Atan kind of opens his eyes again, and then almost more with like a knowing glance, kind of looks around, almost like there's something there again.
That bitch! I should have fucking
Would he
torn
have
that.
known what all happened during his feeble-mindedness?
It's all a blur. It's almost like it was straight up a blood rage. Like, you don't remember anything other than standing in front of the giant. You remember dragging your blade across its calf to get it down to your level, and then striking into its neck so deep you almost thought you were gonna cut it off.
Oh, so at least you remember that.
Okay. I want two things answered. One, what the fuck happened?
You're a dad.
Part. Boogie woogie woogie. And
You're my dad.
boogie woogie woogie.
My friends, don't worry.
Two. Did I almost kill the giant?
Just, okay. The warden just kind of does kind of like that kneeling sit thing. After he finishes.
I'm looking with great anticipation to know if I almost had the fucker.
And he holds up one hand and goes, question 1. The Spider Woman cursed you.
That I repeat, that bitch. Because now it makes sense.
And we waited until we were in safety for me to remove the sick.
Okay.
Anyways. Question 2. Yes.
I just say that bitch got off lucky.
I mean, Nora
Well, I
most
need
of the
to.
word.
Do we have any drinks?
wait.
You guys have some, maybe.
You have an alchemy jug.
I just need literally
You
like
do have an alchemy jug.
I need
so-
the equivalent of just like a cold beer.
That would be the alchemy jug.
You just hear Mikhail over in the corners go, well, Nora did most of the work, but yeah, you almost had him.
I look at
Nari is definitely smirking.
I look over at him. If it wasn't for the fact that I was dumb as fuck, and I just go and try and get a drink.
Nari's like, you already were dumb as fuck.
Yeah, says you. And then
What do you mean? I was the smartest of the party.
Yeah, and you almost fucking lit the tavern on fire.
Warden just kind of
We've
says,
done
it's
that
like,
before.
Did.
Warden pipes in.
If
It's
it
like
wasn't from me.
Warden pipes in and says, well, your combat effectiveness remained the same. Other than that, nothing else much changed besides being quieter.
That's so disrespectful. Okay.
So I just ignore, and I just go where the ale is, and I go get a drink to make sure I don't go into a rage.
So, as you guys kind of settle in your bedrolls, are you guys setting up a watch, or are you going to let the familiars do the work?
Warden will. We can see out the thing, right?
Yes.
Okay, I always forget. Warden will station himself sitting, looking south, and enter sentry mode.
Enter sentry mode. Okay.
It's the only way I
So, everyone kind of sets themselves to rest. About an hour into the rest, Mike, your head gets filled with the screams of a raven. As Octavia is now in the tiny hut with you guys and squawking at you.
We'll look up and immediately look that direction.
As you get up and immediately look that direction, you don't see anything yet, but as you keep looking,
Warden immediately, hearing the squawking, immediately stands at attention.
yeah.
I don't have a laser beam in my
It
arm
reminds me of the the gunship where it's looking at a passenger plane, like no.
The gunship that's just looking forward, and there's just the regular plane. It's like
No.
Warden straps 4 like autocannons on each arm.
And it just swivels back down. It's like, oh my
I take my weasel and just hold it up out of the dome
Honestly,
and just
no,
look through its eyes because I can't
for a
read.
dragon.
yeah, you can't see.
So I'm just looking
Well,
through
you can
its
see
eyes.
through it, not perfectly.
It's pretty cloudy.
It is pretty cloudy,
Pretty
but
damn cloudy.
those with very good dark vision and such can still see some stuff. And so as they're coming, you guys kind of have to almost peek your head out, and you just see 2. One seems to be a human of some form, the other a elf or halfling of some kind, are just walking down the tunnel.
How far are they?
They're about 120 feet out right now.
God damn it.
About
So
as
an
far as
hour or
you
so.
can
Can we take
I
short
want
rest?
to. I'm on the verge of running out there.
Can we can take short rest as an hour?
We're only
So short rests are not actually sleeping.
Well, I
so
know,
this
but
would not have been considered a short rest.
but it was an hour of
This
long
would not have
rest.
been considered a short rest.
Damn it!
Get fucked.
I just want to use my hit die.
So as these people are walking, they just keep walking, and they're within 100 feet.
Are you
180.
standing outside of the
They're
dome?
within 60 feet.
I
and
am
they're just
sitting,
still
like,
walking.
Just
At
gonna
the-
go to the
I was
edge,
sitting at the edge, but I now have come to attention.
Who goes there?
So you're
Who
outside
are
the
you?
dome.
I'm still like standing. I'm behind the wall.
Okay.
No, I'm not visible.
So
I was
as
like,
My head
keep
just
walking,
pokes out.
Mike
Yeah, that's
kind
what I was
of
thinking.
peeks his head out.
Why are you?
Who are you?
As you say that, you see the human seemingly pulls out some form of long sword, and the dwarf you see reveals a large rifle from his
Okay.
back and holds it out and is like, "What the fuck? Where's that coming from?" And the human turns to him and says, "Ah, fuck. Oh, it's me," and he keeps stepping forward, and as he continues stepping forward, you almost see the radiant eyes that you recognize as Brandirio.
Randario.
Flip a 6-level lightning bolt this bitch.
Who's that guy?
And he's like, "How are you?" How's your magic shit? So I don't know.
Get fucked!
I don't recognize that.
Warden points at the wizard.
Can't see me. You can't see from the outside in.
I'm not on the
He's not on the
outside.
outside yet.
I'm still on
He's
the
still
inside. I
inside.
can still see through.
Oh, I
it.
thought you
On
were
the
pointing
outside.
the-
Yeah,
it's a one-way
I thought you were
mirror.
pointing to them.
I've always read the tiny huts as like more like a one-way mirror.
Yeah.
So it's not perfect view, but it's good.
I point to him, and I kind of just do some hand signals. Like I kind of like point at them, like thumbs up, and then like
I can drop it and bring it back up within 10 minutes without anything.
no, more like a they're friendly.
They're friendly. Okay.
Yeah, they're friendly. So
Invite them in.
they can come into the tiny hut.
You know, you
You
can
can-
message him.
You can come in. Housekeeping.
It's fine.
As
He's got the
you
rocket.
say that, the dwarf kind of throws the rifle back over.
That's cool. That's right. Warden's gonna want to see it.
So for Tiny Hut, it's purely based off of intention of the caster, correct?
Yeah.
Don't think
So they would not be able to enter. I'll just let him enter right now. Technically, it has to be declared at the beginning, but I'll let him redeclare who's allowed into the hut.
There was another one that you can change. I think it's a little creepy.
The only thing that would change is you guys spending an extra 10 minutes of recasting it.
Okay.
It would be a real. It's gonna be a real tight fit now. So as he kind of steps up, he was like, "I was hoping we would beat you to the tunnel, but that seemingly did not work."
Who's been
Is
there?
that you that I heard taking some shots?
You say to the dwarf, and the dwarf turns up.
Can you remind me who Bandario is?
Bram Ario.
Bram!
The guy.
I heard Brandario and I was like,
Mario.
I was like, who's this Mario brother fucker?
Mario brother fucker.
Okay, so Bram, okay. Yeah, okay. Now okay. Yeah. Warden gives him a good nod when he walks in.
You know, the one that helped us out just a little bit ago, that we also helped out a while back.
Yeah.
Helped is a relative term, but
Walk.
My memory still likes to play foggy.
Okay.
We have no clue.
I'm excited to see that your little kobold is no longer here.
I heard it. I'm just like replaying everything that that kobold did to him.
Oh, and Mike did some heinous shit as well.
Yeah, I know, but the kobold was like really trying to mind fuck him.
Is it? He has taken a separate path, pursuing a separate mission. Pursuing a separate mission.
Well, I guess I'm here now. I did not expect to run into you down here, if I would be honest with myself. I thought I would get down here before you. However, it does not seem as such. We were delayed a little bit. I assume that's why you're just here.
We had some, and he looks at Mikhail, motivation to move quicker.
Well, I wish you would have moved slower and all. It has only been a few weeks since you released me from Donturum. I moved as swiftly as I could and had some changes of heart. And by which I was able to convince at least someone to help me in this, but if I'd had more time I would have been able to bring more support, possibly change more hearts in the Huntsman. But alas, you fucks had to come here quickly. Speaking of, why are you even going north? Why would you want to go to the place where people are being sent and hunting to kill you?
Atan perks up at your drone. By the way, about that, have you seen either a giant or a fucking giant spider, perhaps?
As you say that, he's going to say, when did you pick that one up?
Hi, my name's Atan, and I go walking up. I
Oh,
try
he's
to
been
shake-
drinking some, yeah.
I've been sleeping.
As you hold your hand out, you
You've
see
been drinking
his
the whole time.
eyes almost flare this radiant energy, and he looks at you.
I still hold my hand out to shake.
The dwarf reaches up and grabs your hand from beneath, almost like
Let
dabbing
me
you
up,
up, and grabs you from
And I
the hand
will-
from below.
And I pick him up to do the
As you try to pick him up, he actually pulls you down to him.
Can I do a strength check to beat that out?
Sure.
I'm sorry, that's a prideful thing right
Beat
there.
him off.
Excuse me?
Yes, sir.
As that
What did you
roll. Oh my god, what is
Yeah, he beats him
Re-
off.
recognize, this is a dex-based character too. He's wielding guns. So as you reach down, you're a little sloshed and almost like stumbling into him. He like pulls you down
That's still a 10.
and
but
gives you a little.
The alchemy jug is an
side-
infinite jug of beer, okay?
That's still a 10.
Or anything else.
And
Well, these
It needs to really.
it's alright.
Recharge. He's gonna
He's a
drink
little
30 gallons
stuck
of
up,
beer.
you know.
Well, but at least thank you for shaking my hand. But
Is it 30
have you also seen what I was talking about?
We were at the tavern. We were just outside. We were dealing with the other huntsmen so that you wouldn't be well overwhelmed.
Oh.
Anyways, to answer your question, these are reinforcements of our own.
Ah, well,
I was gonna ask,
you'll need it if you don't know.
I was gonna ask who are you?
My name is Bram Irio.
Go.
I'm a member of the Huntsmen. He looks at the hands and then just says like "fuck it" and shakes you. He then also reaches a hand out to you. Just
not even looking at him.
I'm gonna tap up the dwarf.
oh, the dwarf is like
Mom.
You son of a bitch!
Probably says some form of orcish slur to you as he hugs as he taps
I
you
hit him
up.
with that rock and stone while he says that.
And Warden, looking at the dwarf, looking back at Graham. And to return the question,
Not by a little enough.
I hit him with a 6th level.
who have you brought? gesturing at the door.
Oh, this is, and he's like, I can introduce my fucking self.
I like this one, Australia.
My name is Editarek Stoneheaver.
That's a fucking name.
Everyone just calls me Ed.
Stoneheaver.
I like guns. I have no fucking clue how they work, but I shoot them super fucking good.
Understandable.
It's well.
If that little gnome speaks to me again, I will put a bullet up his ass.
Please do.
I'm just kidding, mate. You can talk to me all you want. I can tell you. I've been a huntsman for just a short period of time and was more just an urban bounty hunter before then. But I hadn't been working with them for long, so I was fairly easy to convince what dog-shit human creatures, peoples they are. But I already knew that going into it. They were just paying me. But the Irios, and Bram kind of looks at him almost disapprovingly, they've got a lot of money. And Bram's like, that's fair, but I no longer have access to most of those funds, as you know.
We won't need to worry about access to funds.
Well, good, because I no longer have much. I have some.
In terms of money, we have no money.
Well, that being said, I know we were taking our rest after encountering those three
Yes.
twice.
Did any of them fall? Any
Yeah,
of those?
he looks at the Dragonborn.
What?
He just asked, did any of the three fall?
Well,
Look,
I don't want to, brag a little bit, but I did kind of chop a decent bit of chunk out of the giant's neck.
But how did you get up there?
Well, the way you do that is by you not cut the leg fully, but you make it where the leg bends to.
You do what the dwarf did to him. Bring them to their own level.
That makes sense. Well, that's good news at least, because
He is on death's door, I'm sure.
Only reason why he survived was because of that spider bitch, and he just goes back to drinking that ale. That
she's
was
quite creepy, isn't she?
Larger than I expected.
I had never seen her before the tavern.
Have you seen the giant before?
Yes, the giant in the Ice Top Fortress. It is very large, able to hold creatures of his size with fair ease. However, if I'm going to be honest,
What was the spider?
the spider was only about
Maybe half the
18,
giant's height.
18 feet, maybe.
Yeah, the giant was
At
what, 30
top.
feet?
40. He
40
was
feet.
40. He was close to 40.
Okay, so she was about half. the
She
giant.
was about at her head's height, about half, but her legs are obviously like 70% of that height.
Oh yeah. Anyways, yeah.
If I am going to be completely honest, if you guys are heading north, and with the Archons knowing you in this tunnel, I would be very surprised if we didn't come out either to immediate combat or soon thereafter. They like to fight in the field. Especially Ceresis. From what I've heard at least.
Who's Sarah?
That being the dragon.
Oh.
Excuse me.
Oh.
Jesus Christ.
However, with Santhara and Harkin having to run, that sends a bit of a message.
Warden looks at Mikhail and says, "We're very aware of that."
The giant, I would be surprised if he fully died. However, it is possible. Santhara is not much of a healer herself, and neither is Harkin. If they were unable to get him very quickly to someone, then we may have been successful.
To be honest, if you did live, I'm ready for round 2 or 3. Would it be 3 at this point?
If I would, you're not ready, because when you're fighting him, you'll also be fighting Santhara and Harkin, and likely Ceresis.
Well, we had a pretty good shot with just the 3 of them.
Ceresis is the dragon.
I get that. I'm saying when it was just the 3, we were doing pretty good.
He's an ancient fucking dragon. He's going to be as tough as the other 3 combined.
Did we ever tell Bram why we were going north?
No.
we didn't.
No, you got that.
Yeah, no, he that's why he's surprised.
Oh, anyways, Warden interjects on the whole thing and says, Ceresis is the reason we're going north.
We were in the debrief. There were only maybe 10 of us, including the 3 Archons. So 5 others. We were told it was something about a sister.
That is one of the reasons, but given their escape a second time, we
Took care of it.
took care of it in another way.
Alright. Well, since I'm going to be unable to return to Isop Fortress without some form of mark on my own head, would any of you happen to have any armor, magical armor, or weaponry for someone of my skill set? Because if you'll remember, you took all of mine, and I have not yet had opportunity to replace it.
Asshole. Hasn't that all been in my bag?
Most of it, yeah. I'm pretty sure you've sold some of it since then.
Well, I sold like the regular ass scale mail he was wearing or whatever, but or he's a fighter.
He was wearing some magical plate. I don't remember exactly what he was wearing, but I've removed all of it from his character sheet.
Was that where I got the cold
I
plate?
have some dragon scale mail
Hold on,
that I'm
no,
wearing, but I could trade it out.
Hold on. That's where I got the cold plate armor from.
No, you got the cold plate armor way earlier in the game.
That was a lot earlier when we just got out of.
I'm talking like Arc 1 or 2 is when you got the cold plate.
No.
So I know that there is a +3 Warhammer in your bag. It might have actually been where you got the cold plate.
I think it
might
was.
have.
I'm 100%.
It was either him or his brother who were wearing the cold plate.
It was one of the two, but I'm
It probably was his
99% sure he recognized the armor that I have infused on me.
Maybe a little bit. But it is also dark, so he probably couldn't see any like insignias on the armor.
Okay. Well, I
It's just
tried.
like his family crest on like your left shoulder.
I would have probably removed the family crest and replaced it with the crest of Gaunt, since that is my casting emblem. So.
Bro just sees the sickle and wheat in the back of a cart on a red field. That's the Irio banner.
Yeah. Well,
Sickle and wheat, yes.
Warden starts digging through his stuff, returns as much as he can that was or wasn't sold.
Okay, well, do you know what has or hasn't been sold? Because
The thing is, let me pull up my Google Doc because a lot of that loot we got that day, because there was a lot of it, a lot of random BS, I just wrote down on my Google Doc instead of adding it all to my character sheet. I might have sold the Warhammer though.
I do not see the Warhammer in your bag of holding.
That's what I'm saying is I would have wrote it down.
Let me see if Nari has anything. She's in Dead Space, I don't think she'd have anything.
Well, I think we went through and sold a bunch of our stuff.
You guys sold a shit ton of your stuff
To get-
literally right after that combat.
Well, I
because-
mean, right before we left on this trip, too.
Yeah, because literally right after the combat with him and the second group of huntsmen, you guys teleported to Dantura, where you sold a whole bunch of shit to Mal.
See, I could probably go into the editing history, but I had typed out a whole bunch of stuff that we had gotten, and there's just one word, and then I deleted all the stuff that we didn't get rid of, or that's right that we sold. The only thing that's left on my piece of paper is Warhammer. Wait, no, I did keep the Warhammer because hammers are dwarvish things.
Okay.
So I do actually have it.
So you have.
I remember now. That was the only reason I didn't sell
So
it.
you can replace his Warhammer. Do you have a spare shield? I'm assuming you have a spare shield.
Yes.
Okay.
If not, I could make one pretty swiftly.
Okay. So he's Did Jade give him the scale mail?
Did Jade give him the scale mail?
Well, also the plate will give him.
No, I just said that I had it. I think that since Trey doesn't feel actual ownership over it, because it was given to him by A6, that he might ask first.
Well, I mean, he asks, what about the scale mail? Right.
Well, also the scale mail will give him a drastically lower AC than his plate.
Protection against that dragon.
This is not a fire dragon.
Wait, do we know what color dragon it is?
This is a gray dragon.
Okay, so we do know what color it is.
You don't really know what the fuck a gray dragon is. None of you know that yet.
Oh, that's right. The
Man,
gold.
I'm getting trauma
right,
for
the-
the black dragon. I don't know what the fuck a gray dragon does though.
The gold dragon was the one.
Oh wait, no.
Gray
Wait,
dragon.
what's the? Do we know what type of dragon we're hunting
Right now?
Yeah, the one up north.
That's
Yeah,
Gray.
that's the
who
gray
we're
dragon.
talking
That's
about.
the okay. Sorry, I couldn't remember. Okay, like I was trying to remember from making sure I didn't mix up, the dragon we almost not killed, but the one we
Jack.
talked to, Jack. I couldn't remember what he was. I couldn't remember if that was gray or silver.
No, he's a steel.
He's a
Steel.
steel
I
dragon.
knew something.
He's cosplaying as a golden dragon born.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I was
Awesome.
making. That's why I was making sure I understood that.
We do a little trolling.
I'm cosplaying a bird.
Warden says it's like we have this red dragon scale now. But
I
given what you are,
Yes. While it does look cool, I do believe it will not give me the same benefits I have.
let's see.
There are far more chinks in that armor, and I am not the quickest on my feet.
Oh shit.
Bro's got all the grams.
Hold on. Does Nari have anything?
She's a dex-based character.
What type of guy is he?
He would be considered like a
Fighter.
brute strength-based fighter.
Yeah. You have the dragon slaying and the giant slaying.
That's what I'm gonna say.
You can only wield one at a time.
Well, but what I'm saying is, I
While
could
they're
give
debating
him
armor and looking through all of that, I'm just gonna be like,
What-
yeah, do you want to see a magic trick?
Ed's gonna look over at you, and he had already set up his sleeping roll and was like almost in it. And as soon as you say magic,
magic trick.
I'm going
I can
to
show you a magic trick. And he pulls out his pistol.
I'm going to back out of the tiny
He's
hut.
looking at him.
I'm going to shift into Bramirio, walk back in and go, ha! Gotcha, bitch!
What the fuck? And he fires.
Oh no!
Can Warden
Please be an apple.
It's not an
Shoot
apple.
It's a
him.
nest.
Just straight up.
You take 10
God.
points of damage
Gets
as he whips up and fires really quick and like, oh, shit. I'm gonna be honest, I have killed a couple shifters before, so that kind of freaked me the fuck out.
I'm going to shift
Bro,
back
extra armor.
into my bird form and just be like,
Have you been looking at him long enough though?
bruh, what the fuck? I said magic. Gonna shoot me?
I told you I'd show you a magic trick. It's teleporting this ball of metal into your stomach.
Fair point. I'm just gonna walk over my
Okay.
bed.
As you do that, at your passive perception, you kind of peek back over and you see him stick his arm with the pistol still in hand under his pillow, like into his pillow, and then like.
What
And dedicated.
So would a great axe +2 actually be helpful for him?
He has a Warhammer +3, so I mean, a great axe is slightly statistically better, but it would make him not able to wield a shield.
Yeah, and he probably. wants
Same
to
with a
shoot.
great sword. He's strong, but he's not that strong.
Okay, I was wondering.
Or you can do it two-handed weapon, one shield.
No, you have to one on each side.
But okay, I was wondering.
bam.
I was gonna say the only I was asking because I had that. And I'm really, to be honest, I'm not planning on switching out the either of the great swords that I got. So I was wondering.
Bro's gonna be in the combat fighting both the giant and the dragon and just swing, change blades.
No. I told you I'm drinking that giant strength potion and I'm dual wielding those bitches like Kirito against that boss fight.
Honestly, the two Kirito big swords.
Dude, I'm telling you.
Yeah, that would be pretty sick.
I think I talked
With the
about
giant strength, you probably do.
that's the only reason, and that's the only way I'm gonna do it because I asked you about it and I wanted
Yeah.
clarification with that. So, okay, when the potion runs out, I will be doing that probably, but until then.
So,
Warden will give him 3 of his 6 regular ass healing potions.
to Bram.
Yeah. Well, actually, 3 of 9. 7 of them.
You can see they're both
Oh,
pretty tired, and Ed's kind of already trying to lay down.
Oh man, quick. Gorsh is sleeping.
Gorsh
I rolled a
is
d20. If I roll below a 10, I'm just passed out.
Gorsh is conked.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send Octavia back down. I'm going back to bed.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm going to bed. I've had I kept drinking ale throughout the time.
I rolled for
Is
sleep.
embarrassed about the fact that Dex fucking dwarf pulled me to the ground.
Yeah, and you'll notice, Mike, the bullet hole almost seems to be cauterized as you like pressed out the little round piece of lead. It's like almost completely cauterized already.
Yo,
Hell
if we took an hour in the morning, I could probably make the dwarf like a whole bunch of like bullets from obsidian and maybe mithril. I know I can't. I don't have the equipment to do that. It would literally just be smelting the mithril and
Trying to mold it.
literally just molding it into a bunch of steel balls.
Yeah.
Or-
You would have a hard
well,
time getting the
I would have to
heat
look at what
required for
type.
mithril.
I would have to look at what type of firearm he has.
Just use Nari. If she gets angry enough, she should be able to shoot.
Bro's like the dude from Inside.
He does have an oven.
Hey yo.
Yikes.
Oh, that's messed up.
It ain't the first time it's been cooked.
So everyone want to take a good long rest?
Yes.
Fuck, please.
Yes, please.
Oh my god.
No.
6 hours into this set.
Actually, 4. We ain't even getting close. No, go ahead and click it. You guys can go ahead and take a
Thank
long rest.
God.
It's not the most comfortable. You're actively on slightly slanted ground since it's nearly a perfect circle.
Warden doesn't give a fuck. Reset extra HP.
You wake up 6 inches closer to the center than when you started. So everyone slightly slid during the night, whether
Oh,
it's
same.
or not. So it's more of a pile of people as you guys wake up.
Because
What is
This is
89 max
secret.
HP before that long rest?
How much you have now?
79. Sworn I had 10 more than that.
Did you accidentally click the reset max HP?
I did have that checked.
Okay. What it'll do is, if you roll for any of it,
Oh.
it'll set you back to your automatic average.
That's whack.
wait, what?
Yeah, if you click in that box, you can incorrectly set your max HP. You're correct, Warden. I know you're good.
No, I'm correct.
Mine's
I always uncheck that box.
Remember I rolled for mine 'cause I hate
Sometimes I have to
taking average.
input things for various items on different characters, and it always fucks me because I forget about it. And then
Turn that off.
like 3 or 4 sessions later, when I'm back in combat again, I'm like, wait, why do I have lower health?
Yeah.
And then I can't remember exactly what it is. And yeah.
I know I was at 29, so I'm good.
So, you guys wake up. You guys kind of get on your mounts. Neither Bram nor Ed have mounts. They're just on foot.
The dwarf can ride with me.
I'm going to pick my spells.
The dwarf is like, seems big enough.
Manage spells.
He can hold me in the other.
I'm gonna prepare my soul.
You're gonna have to help me up.
One made of.
Ooh, I can be a horse.
You can be a horse.
As
can
you
be a
say,
horse.
Bribe me.
as you say that, Bram actually does turn to you and is like, so you're offering yourself to be ridden.
I don't see what's wrong with that.
Bow, bow, bow.
looks around very awkward.
The hollow metal of a cough. Like
And
I mean, if you prefer it, Weasel, like a giant Weasel, I don't know.
I feel
Is
like
it
that would,
like
be,
one ride?
that would be an uncomfortable ride. I can ride bareback on a horse.
Oh yeah.
Bareback mountain.
Nari has to be making some sort of comment.
Oh, Nari's for sure, like, under her breath making comments to someone around her. Either way, he's like, well, you're welcome to. I can walk, though I am very used to it.
Okay. Pick yourself.
Let him ride you. We don't.
Rick's gonna finish the horse anyway. And he's
Yeah,
going
when I lean right down to help the dwarf up, I basically just do like stepping stools with my 2 arms, so he can put himself up.
The wolf is like, this guy's fucking sick. And he bounds up the little.
Dual-wield rifles because I can literally hold and aim with like, I don't know how to demonstrate it with 2 arms on one side, but then like if I have to like reload like a musket, I can just go bam, like with both arms.
Oh my god. That's awful.
That's terrible.
Oh my gosh.
Not letting that
Make
happen.
it a can.
But so, you guys continue down. You guys get to mid.
It's a war horse. Sorry, just to be specific.
Okay.
That's the inches.
So you guys make your way through the obsidian shaft, continuing down. Get to midday.
As we're walking through, Warden peers over to the dwarf and says, I am from the Church of Gond, and, well, I like to tinker and blacksmithing such and such. I show my built-in forge kits and tinkering tools and such, and I say, may I inspect your weapons?
You may, not Bertha, but he holds out his sidearm.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'll take the sidearm and I'll take the time, kind of, with 2 hands kind of just holding it steady, and then the other 2 are tinkering and analyzing the components. What type of handgun is it?
This would be considered in D&D Beyond. It's a laser pistol, but I'm pretty much settling it as a pistol that shoots magically enhanced fire rounds.
Huh. So it wouldn't do any good giving him an actual laser pistol.
I'm gonna use the rock duckies and see if Ventar's up.
As you do, Ventar very groggily kind of wakes up and says, yes, Mikhail.
Would there happen to be another
A
individual?
white raven? Yes, I hate her already.
Ah,
She will likely be at Jack's when you arrive.
very well.
She's drawing things in my home.
That sounds like her.
I found paint on the walls this morning.
Yep.
I just realized something. I still haven't said I've taken off the suit.
No, you
Still
haven't.
have
I
the suit
still
on.
have
Bro's
my suit
still
on.
the most dapper.
No, the thing is the last.
Now it's all forms of cut up.
No, well, I can just mend it, but ever since we left Jack's, I've had it with my jackets. My jacket is off, and the button down was rolled up on the sleeves. That's how I've been wearing it.
Bro's been a mafia boss.
All day.
I really hated it.
Tracing going up to you and like making like cool gestures, like recognizing the fact that you're still wearing the coat all day.
It's been like days.
Yeah, it's been days.
Days.
It's been a week since
All
we
days.
All days.
Days.
Oh yes. It's been an all days night.
That's an Elden Ring tattoo.
Do you have any more questions
Hell
for
yeah.
me, Mikhail?
No, I just wanted to make sure she was all right.
She seems a little quiet and a little to herself as of now, but she hasn't even really told me where she came from or how she got here. And honestly, knowing you, I
did say white bird inbound.
White boot.
Just tell him, we're getting on the move again, but that's a story for another day when we're back.
She seems a little disappointed.
Tell her that I'll see her soon.
Will do. I'm assuming she'll be a little bit more excited when she sees
She runs
Jack in
away.
the tavern. This is a little more room of a mansion.
Agreeable.
You didn't have to agree so quickly.
Well, he has beer.
I have cups that fill with whatever, and as he says that, my cups fill with whatever the fuck you want. But,
We need to learn that spell.
But milk. All the varieties of milk.
bro, milk on tap.
Milk on
Bro, you're
tap.
gonna cup. That might actually.
So gross.
Milk on tap is probably one of my best, like.
That was the best thing I've ever heard. I wish it was real. I want it to be real so bad.
I don't. We can
Sounds
say-
like
I
the
will-
most
I will
badass
stop
dystopia.
I will be the milk brewery.
You
Someday,
already are. It just takes
someday
35
you're
minutes.
going to have a woman and a baby on the way, and I'm going to be calling you up and going, Zach,
Milk on tap.
milk on tap?
And I'm gonna be like, I mean, only for about a couple months after birth.
You say,
it's not
sorry,
like-
yeah, sure, and he just goes, tap it, buddy.
Alright, let me insert the tap.
Oh, yeah!
Bro inserts the threads around his cock. That's
Yeah.
such a terrifying thought.
It just attaches to the ball.
The balls are the levers.
Okay.
That
So
now.
just
Oh,
continuing on.
They're the faucets.
Anyways,
Do you want warm milk or cold milk?
So
Warden has kind of gestures to Nari, shows the pistol, and kind of gestures to have her chuck the other laser pistol. 14,000 years in the past, laser
okay.
pistol.
Nari gingerly pulls it out and says, "I better get this back." And tosses it to you.
Alright.
Doesn't get it back.
And then I radio, you will.
3 to 5 business teams. 3 to 5 business.
And Warden is in one set of hands is holding the dwarfs, and the other set of hands is holding the ancient laser pistol, and is kind of like inspecting them and opening up their chambers and looking at different, like comparing and contrasting. So this one that he's holding, it magically produces bullets.
It enhances the bullets that he puts in.
Okay. So it's not like the ether cartridge that's in the other one.
No.
Or whatever it's called. The weave cartridge or whatever.
Bro, when Ethan rages,
How the fuck did he?
You know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Like the weave bullets.
no, there is actively like a little canister that seems to, or a little container that is slid into the side of it that has 4 rounds.
Okay. I'm inspecting the pistol. What am I able to identify what is enhancing this pistol?
There are a couple runes on its hilt.
So,
on its handle.
artificer. This is a craftsmanship of an artificer. Is it the same one as my
No, you do not recognize the crafter's mark.
Okay.
There is a little mark that is the crafter's mark that you do not recognize.
Okay. Warden is going to kind of like show the the laser pistol. I'll just call this one like the what do I call it?
The piss pistol.
It's
Wait, how do the rounds? Is it kind of like a revolver, or is it like a sliding, like a chamber, like a?
So he doesn't completely understand how it works. Like he said, he
well,
just uses it.
while I'm identifying,
While
can
you're
I figure out how it works?
So pretty much how it works is it slides in from underneath, and more so it flips the bullet out. So almost like the ignition. So look, thinking of it like the weapon like this, you slide it in pretty much where your trigger is. You slide this canister in, and the ignition is in the handle that sends the bullet up and spins out.
Oh,
So it goes. It comes up before it goes out.
so you loads like that and fires. That doesn't make physics sense, but it's okay.
No, it does. Well, here's the thing. There is a minor magic propulsion onto the chemical reaction, which launches it forward. So it's almost like
it
it's
chambers
or
and instantly fires.
It's
Yes.
kind of like orbital launching.
yeah, it pops up at speed, but before it can hit the ceiling, it gets launched out.
Okay.
It's magic.
Yeah, I know that.
Very, very obvious.
Gordon obviously knows that.
Physics would not make this work.
So it's like was it the F-2000 or like a P-90 where the bullets go in like sideways and then they just get whipped around and then
Yeah,
they
kind
launch.
of. Kind of.
Except the chamber itself
But
is curved.
it's magic to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
So
chamber.
it's kind of fun.
The chamber itself is curved.
it's
so-
kind of fucky wucky. But
Yeah.
and then it slides in the handle, almost like you would a general like revolver. So here slides over, next bullet,
Okay.
next bullet, next bullet.
Okay. Well, I allow the dwarf to.
Reclaim his weapon.
Yes, reclaim his handgun, and I also but I also show him like it's like for the firewoman's sake, be gentle with this, but if you'd like to look at it.
He takes it and is like, I'll be honest, big metal man, I've got no fucking clue what I'm looking at.
Wouldn't it be made out of a similar plating?
Well, he didn't even understand his own gun.
No. Well,
He's
I
just
know
really
that.
good at shooting.
I know that.
He's saying that in the sense of, yes, this looks kind of like a weapon that I would use, but I have no fucking clue what it does.
Yes.
Where do you get this? Was it in the fold?
Yes.
Yes. Which one? Well, it's probably Jesus, yeah.
Yes.
Kind of hands it back.
I remember crafting a few. And then we just keep going.
He looks up at you like, and then lets it slide.
While he was doing, how long did that take? What he was doing?
Well,
Well, he
my
was
analysis.
he was doing identify, so about 10 minutes.
About 10
Well-
It's a ritually cast identify. It's about 10
Yeah.
minutes.
I was just using analysis, but
I consider
Yeah.
analysis.
Analysis is basically like-
effectively
it's
free
yeah, it's basically a custom trait.
So while he was doing that, I just reached in my pocket, grab out the chest,
Okay.
and I just touch it, and the physical one tear appears and it appears next to me.
We're on the horses still.
I thought we were stopped because if you're doing identify, you can't do that while moving.
Well,
I mean,
the dwarf is now driving. I'm just sitting in the back.
I allow you to do planning on now. It doesn't matter.
This might be a little extreme.
Okay.
While he was doing that, I was going to be taking. I can do a 5-foot cube at a time, so I was going to refine the adamantine missile.
Okay, yeah,
two
you
separate
wouldn't be able to do
paths.
that
Exactly. Because
But
it's just a
you'd be-
spell, so
You'd
it'll
be
just
able to take a midday
What
rest.
spell is refining it?
fabricate.
Oh, I have that spell.
It's an amazing spell. I was just gonna refine it into more bars, so it's not just the raw
Well,
material.
actually, I don't. Well, actually, no. We long rested because I was like,
Yeah,
I have this
I picked my spells before he set out. Like the immediate, click over rest.
Because I could. The thing is with that spell. I can't do it with my features to craft the adamantium, but I maybe fabricate
So, well, I'll be doing that over the day.
to craft like special more special bullets.
How many ingots and of what quality of mithril and adamantine do I have? I have 4 cubic feet of mithril and 4 cubic feet of adamantine, so it'll take 2 spell slots.
And it's gonna cast 10 minutes for each.
So how many bars and of what quality would you say?
So you would either be able to get, I'm thinking 4 cubic feet. I mean, obviously in your ore, there's gonna be a lot of dead material.
Exactly, useless.
So I'd probably say you only have half of the actual stuff. So I'd say you'd either be able to get 12 high quality ingots. Not ingots, bars.
Bars, yeah.
12 high quality bars, 20 middling quality bars, or you could get up to 30 very low quality bars.
I'll probably. Would I know like how willing place people are to buy the higher quality stuff?
If you found the right blacksmith who could actually work those materials.
And is the like lesser quality, like not the worst, but the mid-tier quality more easily worked with?
You would have an easier time selling the high quality ones, and you'd probably get more money out of it. You would just have to find a blacksmith who could actually, because either way, most blacksmiths can't just willy-nilly forge mithril.
Yeah.
Like you have to have someone who's trained in that to really be able to do that.
True.
So I'll do the
Like even Warden probably wouldn't, even with all of his smithing experience, wouldn't just be able to. Oh, I can just ting.
No.
All of a sudden make mithril.
I would need a legitimate forge, not my pocket forge.
And you'd probably also need some training, because
Yeah, I would need to go to a master blacksmith.
and
somewhere.
he would get it on the first try once you've seen it, but
Yeah.
you still have to see it.
See it.
Yeah. So I
See
just
it to believe it.
If you want, you can point
well-
the light more towards the table. That way it's not so
those I just
It's just due to my
That's
advanced
fine.
tech.
I took the 12 high quality, so I have 12 high quality adamantine mithril. Is there would I know is there a use for finding obsidian? Or are people more looking for the
Yeah,
unrefined
I mean-
version?
I switched the mics back out because Jade said the other mic was actually worse. And that arm, I need to figure out where best to put, so I just threw it there, and I'll figure it out next week.
I bumped it. That's what it's for.
Yeah. It's a leaning mic. It's a little flaccid.
Yeah.
So 12 high quality bars of mithril and adamantine.
Yep, and then
Would you also like to refine the stuff that you
I
took,
mean,
or do you
I don't see why not.
do you have the fabricate prepared?
That's a great question.
did you prepare your spells at the beginning of the day?
I haven't prepared my spells at the beginning of the day.
Is there a Usimi fab? Can I like roll some to see if there's a U or what?
I do have. Wait, actually, no. I fabricate is always prepared
Oh, nice. Is
because
there
I am a forge cleric.
that works. Or is there a Usimi refining the obsidian, or is it more sought after in its unrefined form to be used for that?
For obsidian, you could go either way.
Most obsidian is
I mean,
pretty pure.
pretty much all you would be doing is kind of, you'd be cleaning it is more than anything.
I
Like you'd just
thought
be
that.
getting rid of all of the rock.
And what would you say I went up to 5 cubic feet of obsidian after clearing off all the stuff from
How many cubic feet did you have in the first place?
4, and I have 4 of the other materials. If I lost half, I'm assuming a good at least
Some of that stuff
half
was
cubic feet
obsidian.
at least obsidian. So I
I would
probably
say,
went up to
sure, I'll
5.
give you a 5 cubic.
Total
cubic
5.
Yeah.
Say less. I'm not gonna refine that stuff.
You're probably gonna end up with only like 4 once you.
Actually, I'm gonna keep that one separate. 'Cause
So-
that one's probably more pure obsidian.
Yeah.
I don't. Okay, I'm gonna explain what I want to do, and you can tell me if there's.
Haha, notes.
Anyways,
Spells.
obviously I would know I don't have experience forging things of mithril with mithril, but I'm pretty accustomed to purifying things and smelting.
Yeah.
I want to incorporate my features to basically, before I cast Fabricate on the mithril specifically, because I know I won't be able to smelt the adamantine without a spell, just due to its properties. But with the mithril, I want to.
Basically, I want to work on removing as many impurities as I can without the Fabricate spell, and then cast the Fabricate spell to perfect them. Is there a degree above high quality?
You would, no, not really. Not in this sense.
But,
Because
okay.
Fabricate can do a lot for sure, but it's not going to do as much as a full day working on it in the Forge.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to let Fabricate take so much away from the physical capabilities of it. Like, you'll get far, far along just by casting the spell, and then you do your final touches.
Yeah. Okay. Well, would I be able to smelt down the mithril and purify a majority of it just with my features, and then just use Fabricate on the adamant?
I mean, it would take you a lot of time.
My feature would require an hour.
It would require, for how much you have, it would require quite a bit of time. Probably more than an hour.
Well, blessing of the no, it's not blessing of the forge. It's Arson's blessing. Use your channel divinity to conduct an hour-long ritual that crafts a non-magical item that must include metal. That's for specifically crafting items, so I don't know how you would incorporate smelting.
Either way, it says the thing you create can be something that is no worth more than 100 gold pieces. I generally bypass that, but mithril and adamantine anything is going to be far more than 100 gold pieces worth of stuff. I would just increase the time. Like, you're looking 3 to 5 hours to make something with that feature.
Warden's
And you're not doing that mounted.
Yeah, I know. Warden's just gonna. Warden just decides he can literally fabricate it whenever he wants. So he'll just see that he did that. He would want to run analysis on it, and I would tell him that it's high quality on the mithril and things like that, and hand it back to him. Anyway, move on.
So, continuing on, you guys continue in this very, very bleak, very, very empty tunnel. And you guys, I don't believe any of you have the Keen Mind feat.
Sadly, not yet.
So, you guys keep on your mounts until you are exhausted. And you are still in the tunnel.
Actually, I am a horse, and so I was never on a mount, so.
Well, your wild shape only lasts an hour. So,
It lasts depending on your druid level.
That's true. I forgot about that.
His probably
That's
lasts a
alright.
good 3 to 4 hours now.
it goes up in CR.
Five
whole hours.
Yeah, I was gonna
Five
say it does
hours.
increase based on that.
Well, either way, it still wouldn't get you through your full day unless you wanted to do it twice.
Yeah.
Which would
No,
mean
no,
you
no.
no longer have any charges for your wildfire spirit.
Right.
So, you guys are exhausted.
Womp womp. No, it's a sound for
Do you march on? Do you take a rest?
You rest.
How long have we been going on for?
At this point, you honestly don't know. You would say you've probably been marching. Today, you probably marched somewhere between 10 and 12 hours.
Okay. It's probably a good idea to rest.
I'd agree.
Don't. Womp womp time.
Long, long time.
Womp
Okay.
womp time.
This time I'm gonna actually prepare myself.
Yeah, I'm not gonna change mine.
Another long rest.
I've added like 30 spells to a list that I want to hunt for.
Okay.
Most of them are transmutation because I don't know how many spells outside of the transmutation school I would know. Like, know of, at least. What level is teleport? 8? 7? 7? Teleport myself to death. What about plane shift? That's
shift
high
is 8th or 9th.
I thought it
I thought it's 8.
was 8.
Might be 7th.
No way, it's 7. That would be insane.
Or it's only like 6th or something.
Huh? Plane shift is a 7th level spell.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not
Ah.
9th. It's either 7th or 8th.
From the north direction, I forgot to do this last time. From the north, on the north side of our bubble, Morden's going to put down a glyph of warding. I forgot.
A glyph of Warden.
A glyph of warden. I forgot I had prepared.
That's plenty of spells.
Anyways, and the glyph obviously activates. I put it about, I would say about 30 to 60 feet, 45-ish feet
Okay.
in front of our camp up north. And the glyph of warding is anyone with ill intent specifically against our party gets hit with.
9th level fireball.
Actually, I was going to do it.
David's gonna go on the south side.
Oh my gosh. Okay. If you guys wanna, I mean, you don't have to take another short rest. Just click out the
Yeah.
spells that you used that day, and you guys wake up in the morning, fairly refreshed. Yeah, Jake.
It was celebration. Yay.
Yeah. So you guys wake up again, and rising from your slumber, there's almost an uneasy feeling, as while you were on the march, you couldn't feel it as much. But now that you've risen in the morning, it feels significantly colder.
Cold resistance.
Damn, that's crazy.
You're a piece of metal. You don't really feel cold.
I can feel.
You can feel somewhat. but
Resistant.
Not at the same level as everyone else.
Resistant.
Yeah, you're resistant to cold, so you don't feel it that much.
I just start putting my jacket on. The one singular jacket I put on.
Bro just goes from bare chested to light jacket. Well,
Literally.
He's wearing a t-shirt.
I lose my armor class.
I just hold fire bolts in my hand and just hold them.
Around the nips. Keep the nips warm.
Put them in my shirt. That's enough spells to add to my to-do list for now.
Find me in on the Bible. That motherfucker's cheating. He's deciding on how we die.
Yeah. We just roll a D100.
Cave in kills us all.
Well, it wouldn't kill us. It would just sit on top of the dome till 8 hours passed. Then we'd be dead. We'd have to wait for it. Dimension door. Boom, I'm going. Fuck you guys. Well, actually, I can take you with me. I can only take one person. You can come with.
That's fucking wonderful. Rocks can't kill me. I'm really made of metal.
They're made of rock.
I'm made of metal.
Exactly.
Does Brad have a bow?
He does not.
Damn.
Don't mean this bitch.
I was going to give him
The really funny
reserves.
thing about that is if you read something.
Because I also don't have a bow.
Oh yeah.
He gave me the dragon slaying arrows, and I was thinking about it, I was like, I don't think I actually have a bow anymore. Because I just have the gun.
Did you sell your vicious
Yeah, because I wasn't using it for anything.
You still had it with you.
Don't worry.
I sold it when I wanted the boots.
That's fair. I mean, I know Nari has a good bow.
My lightning bolt and fireballs are.
Because I was using the psychic lantern.
Yeah, Nari has a long bow.
Alright, I'm gonna give her another arrows then.
You're gonna give her the dragon slaying arrows?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
False.
I'll just add them to her character sheet.
Try again. Oh, that was better.
I think they have to be a custom item.
They are, yeah.
That was
Okay.
I'll find where my note is of exactly how many rounds I have for my laser gun.
Dragon slaying arrows. And I believe you were given 5.
Zach,
Do you have it written down?
what's the distance between
I had 72 to start.
where we
Of
are?
the dragon slaying arrows?
Oh, no.
I'm saying you have
Oh,
5 of the
yeah,
dragon slaying.
5
What's
with
the
arrows.
distance between here and 4? About where we're at.
What do you mean?
The distance from here
From.
here to 4. Where we're at.
You guys were more like here.
Oh, that's fine.
1. And you have no clue how deep you are.
Well, according to like our maps, like a map we have of the.
Yeah, the map doesn't map
No,
the
no,
tunnel.
no, but I'm saying from where we entered at the wall, just as a rough.
As a rough estimate, you're a day or two's journey north.
I'm wanting.
Maybe here, you have no clue, Thomas.
No.
You can't even estimate.
I'm not trying to estimate where we are.
Trying to
I'm
guess.
trying to estimate. What's the miles?
What's the miles?
There's a specific spell.
A specific spell? What? What spell?
Forbiddance. We can't get tracked up to 40,000 feet. From a specific area that I touch.
40,000 feet is less than 9 miles.
Yeah, that's less than 8 miles.
But
What level spell is forbidden?
6, but I'm probably not going to take it. Unless I believe we're going to be in this tunnel for a whole other day.
Probably.
I mean, we have no clue.
I'm curious, I'm gonna look at this spell.
If only I knew.
Square feet of floor space, brother. Square feet
Still
of floor
20,000.
space.
There's still a lot.
If only I knew a teleportation.
But if they
circle.
were tracking us, they would suddenly not be able to track us for 4 miles, 5 miles.
There isn't a teleportation circle where we're heading, is
If
there?
it's 40,000
I
square
guess that
feet,
there probably is if you make it to the Ice Top Fortress.
then
If.
But I
it
haven't seen
wouldn't
it.
be 20,000.
Oh, I was thinking radius.
Yeah. It would be
Basically,
a 400 foot by 100
basically what that is.
foot.
Never mind.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not a big leap. It is more for I'm in a building, big ass building.
Like if you're in a
Fire.
castle, basically you just can't be tracked within your lair.
Yeah.
That's essentially what it is that you can't
It's,
see me while I'm
it's
in
my
my lair.
third. It's my third 12
This is
hour
basically-
12-hour work shift in a row. So I'm not. I'm
That's
not ranked a little cook.
That's fair.
You're always a little cook.
Not baked though,
Not baked.
unfortunately.
If-
Well, I mean, we still have a brownie.
we still have plenty of brownies. However,
Yeah.
sadly, Warden can't get cooked or baked or shredded.
I can
Well,
get melted.
He can get melted. So,
It's gonna take a lot.
I think
You
that a
guys-
mental prison would definitely fuck his head up a little bit.
quite a bit actually.
Yeah.
So,
Feels
you guys continue along another day.
Should I get Sunbeam prepared? That would probably take out a dragon.
You guys continue on and on and on. And on and on and on. And on and on and on. You start to almost have some doubts, as this would be your second full day in the tunnel. But you again march until you're tired. What do you guys do?
We could have gone over.
Dude, Sunbeam is literally a Kamehameha.
It is.
That's awesome.
solid.
It's good damage. It's not like the goat damage, but it's good.
I love that.
But it
magical-
lasts.
Whatever that magical sphere was.
That's 10 turns of just being able to take the laser beam and being able to go.
It's an orbital laser, like straight up.
Literally an orbital laser.
I mean, I loved that one spell that incapacitated the black dragon, whatever that one was. Like,
Oh, I'm a Ralathun Psychic Lens.
yeah, that she was goaded.
How many days have we? I've been traveling with this group.
Wait, wasn't that one that you prepared?
Not. Yes, the barbarian prepared.
No.
This would be exactly a week. Since
The-
you guys
You
the
guys were
bard.
facing the black dragon.
I
Yeah.
marked
That was
down
what your
exact
bard had
time,
prepared.
so I keep track
Yeah.
of secret chest.
And you used it?
Yeah, and I incapacitated the black dragon.
That's
It's
awesome.
it's fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's every
Literally was like a clutch
Yeah.
moment
Every 60
because
days,
the
if I
dragon
roll
was
that one,
fucking
I
everyone
do that
up.
chest.
Yeah, which is
Uh,
awesome.
It was
Yeah.
it was fucking amazing, and I nat 20'd out of
Yeah,
the
like
fear thing that
advantage
you
on
did on
it,
us.
because it's considered a concentration.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun.
So,
Or I could take
you
harm.
guys are on the end of what you would assume to be a second day's worth of march.
Is there still ale?
Yes.
I'm fucking good then.
We gotta get this man the infinite tankard.
He can make 4 gallons of ale every.
20 minutes.
Alchemy jug? I don't know.
Recharge.
All if I've got at least
It's
a
not-
drink along
The
the
alchemy
way.
jug
I'm good.
isn't like it doesn't have charges, but it just recharges after a certain amount of time after it is empty. Correct?
I believe so.
Probably drinks more than it produces.
I love how just
Four
how
gallons would fuck
much
anybody.
you have in your inventory, Mike. It's hilarious to me.
Because of all his ingredients.
The brother has so much shit in his inventory.
Yeah.
Me when I'm playing Minecraft on the first day.
Boom, boom, boom.
He playing Minecraft ever.
Yeah, actually. Fair point, actually.
So, pretty much how the alchemy jug works is once it's activated, you pretty much have unlimited throughout the whole day, but it can't produce another liquid that day.
Ah, that's what it is.
Oh, perfect. I don't need anything else.
I thought I had limits. Or is it because mine's upgraded?
It's because yours is upgraded.
Okay.
As long as I have ale, I can
Bro
go
had an
and
expensive ass alchemy jug, so it better have some good bonuses.
Yeah.
You,
Now,
you can
that's
literally
'cause
just
it's
keep
ale.
drinking from
It's a
it.
common liquid.
I was gonna say.
If you say, I want to Rask
Chloroform.
come, it's like, okay, you're gonna get an ounce.
Chloroform.
Take a shot of this.
Couple gallons.
Hell yeah! Say
Take a
less.
shot of this.
Whiskey.
Now,
literally just like what?
I just gave him something to take a shot of. I just gave him a vial of ink.
A vial of ink.
He took a shot. Oh, I handed him one.
That was a fake. I didn't actually do that.
You should. I handed you that bottle.
It's a jet black liquid.
It's good.
Like it. Do it. What's it
Strong.
like?
Very strong.
so I totally
I do like-
misreading what Octavia's spell is.
Yeah.
It's plane shift, not phase
Yeah.
shift.
I know.
Friendship.
And I went.
charging.
So I was going to have her phase shift
No, she plane shifts for a little bit.
through the wall to figure out where the fuck we are and just phase shift through the stone. And I was looking at it and I went,
No, she went straight up went into another dimension, and then knew she was beside you and went, poof, I'm back.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I can't exactly have her do what I wanted her to do
Not exactly, no.
in this moment now,
Oh.
is what I mean. Because I was going to just have her phase shift, because if you're out of phase, you can move through solid objects,
And then just go
and
up.
her just go up to figure out where the fuck we are, and then come right back down. But I can't really do that if it's not a phase shift.
So, as you guys are kind of sitting exhausted, Ed kind of says, I swear I've taken this tunnel before. I don't feel like it's ever taken this long.
Huh?
I'm pretty sure it's because it's you, sorry, Lord, of boring me.
You sorry, what?
I'm gonna go to sleep. We should be able to reach the end by tomorrow if...
Counterspell is.
Or just cast on your 9th level sleep.
I cast 6th level haste.
He's just wired.
He sleeps so fast. He got to long rest twice in 8 hours.
Bro's feeling fresh. So,
With that comment, can I roll like a survival or an insight or
sure. Onto what?
something as to trying to discern if we've been somehow moving like in an illusion or if like something's askew. Like if I
Can I
tell
do a
that we're
survival
not
check
just
to see if
straight
it
up
makes sense?
moving forward.
You can go ahead and make a survival check.
Survival.
Can I make a survival check?
Yes. Funny thing is, you're probably just as good.
19.
19.
Oof. That's a 8 plus 5.
You
13.
haven't sensed any magical fuckery in terms of that regard. It does feel weird that there's
Anything
just a
of the
tunnel of
arcane
nothing.
in this tunnel.
Go ahead and roll me. You can either roll a history, or you could roll an arcana if you wanted. They're gonna give you different results.
Can I cast detect magic?
Sure. Everything
Ooh,
around you
that's
lights up
good.
because everyone around you lights up.
I'm not looking
The
at
tunnel
people.
is not magical.
Okay. Tunnel's not magical.
I'll roll history.
Is the air magical?
Only around you.
For a second. Aw.
This is a big
With all
ass
four
circular
arms.
tunnel. What, like, Mike's trying to go through his head and think, why is this a perfect circle? And the only thing he can come up with is this is probably made by some creature and it's just being used.
Would I have ever heard of any creatures in my time studying about
You're
this?
sure you can roll a history check.
Go for it, baby.
Or
Can I roll a nature or something? I don't know. What would I roll to like know about a monster?
You
That's
can roll
necessary.
either a history or a nature, Jade.
that's an 18.
An 18. I'll let Jade roll as well before I talk.
So close.
Let's do nature because I've never rolled it before. It's only plus 1. I rolled a natural 20.
21.
I literally was just about to say rolls natural 20.
So stupid. So the pair of
Notice
you.
the rocks aren't alive.
So
I'm gonna go get through it.
Gorsh, you notice looking around, like, you kind of go through a more methodical and, let's say, statistical approach. You're like, okay, this is a big ass circular area. What's something that goes through the earth and makes circular tunnels
I am very
in its
proficient.
path? And you've noticed that it is almost perfectly circular. So it's weird because generally something would eat and then shit it, leaving some form of debris behind it. But there is no debris in this. Trake just kind of looks over and is like, oh, so I guess this is a tunnel of a purple worm.
Incorrect. This is a tunnel of a calamity god's dick.
Purple.
So Drake, the idea of a purple worm comes to your mind in this moment of like, yeah, it would make sense. I mean, their acids would dissolve the stone and rock to pretty much nothing, into pretty much only a liquid in their stomach, which would mean they're not leaving rubble behind them as they tunnel.
Plus, there's a purple worm over there.
Over there.
There's, as Drake's just
Fireball.
pointing ahead, there's nothing there.
Purple worm. Purple worm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We should not stand still. We should go to another tunnel if we are to rest at all.
There
We
hasn't
have
been
been
another
in this
tunnel
tunnel
for 2
for
days.
days. There is no going to the
But
nearest option.
secret tunnel.
There has been no offshoots throughout the entirety of this.
Can I look for a secret tunnel?
Sure, go ahead and roll investigation.
Did we go through the wrong tunnel?
We did we check?
You fail.
Natural 20 plus 4.
You fail.
Fuck you.
There is no secret tunnel.
Damn it.
Wasted
Alright,
life.
I have one other idea. Then. If we are going to take a rest, I'm going to use Bones in the Earth to make it's just really hard to get through, so that if something is coming, that there will at least be some pillar breaks that we hear.
I do my Glyph of Warning again.
Okay, so you guys take another rest.
Would you say I have 10 gold's worth of incense on me? In my
Yeah,
chest?
sure.
I'm going to spend an hour and 10 minutes changing my weasel familiar into a tressium,
Okay.
which is just another form of cat, but this one has
It's a
wings.
flying cat.
It's a flying
It's a
cat.
flying
With
cat.
true
Yeah.
sight.
That's
Yes,
what I
true
thought
sight.
it was. You can change a familiar into that?
It's a
That sounds
familiar
weird.
availability if you have a certain book that's a sub thing of a cat. Doesn't have true sight for the familiar though. The familiar does not have true sight.
I was gonna say getting true sight on a familiar.
If you have
is
Pact of the Chain, you can have the same word as true sight. This one
dummy crazy.
So, detective visibility,
upgraded
keen spell.
once.
Yeah, this one's
Yeah.
just got detective visibility, keen spell, poison sense.
But as a familiar, getting true
Yeah.
sight would be
Yeah.
so
Just
overpowered.
Yeah, it does not sadly have that. But it is a little winged cat.
So as you wake the next morning, and these pillars and the hut kind of closes down, nothing's changed
Besides the cat.
besides the cat. So you guys hop back on your mounts and continue. Your mounts are starting to get very, I don't know necessarily how to put it. They're almost demoralized. They haven't had natural light. They've just had the grain that you guys were able to bring with for
That's what I
food
have.
and such. They haven't been able to graze. So they're,
That's what I have.
yeah, I know what it looks like. They're moving, but they're moving slower by the day.
Okay.
Well, I have like those bags of horse feed or whatever.
Yeah, you've got food.
But they
want sunlight.
They want sunlight.
Okay. Dawn.
Dog. Bro's like, want sunlight, bitch? 10d12
You want
damage.
white, sickening radiance.
I could prepare dog.
Sickening radiance.
So,
isn't
as-
that what the Americans did to the Japanese?
As you
Yeah,
guys
they
continue
multi-class.
throughout the morning,
comes that.
you guys would guess that you're halfway, maybe 3 or 4 hours past your waking. And you guys swear that you see an ever so slight shine of light way down.
It's a fucking train.
Hey, boom! Dun 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 dun!
Alright, that's an insight check.
Go ahead and roll the inside check, sure.
You know, can I roll one as well? Sure. It's kind of sucks.
Can I do it for
It
This
sucks.
sucks.
Sure.
I'm joining the inside.
I rolled a 2, so I got a 10.
Go.
Trey
Try
gets
pretty
pretty
hopeful.
My insightful go.
Total of 7.
16.
God damn it!
What are we rolling?
Everyone's rolling an insight to see if the light at the end of the
Perception
tunnel
for me.
is the actual end of the tunnel.
What's
What's
your
your
roll?
roll?
16%.
That would be a 1 plus 10.
But
I'll use my eagle goggles. I'll flip to them to see if I can get a closer picture of that little light.
Okay. Go ahead and roll perception.
Does he get advantage because of Eagle Eye?
I'd say in this case, sure.
Yes. Get it, Thomas.
That's 11.
You get advantage.
you get advantage.
I know. I'm just figuring out what my dust is.
Bro doesn't know his perception bonus off the
8.
top of his head.
So that's a 19.
One
This one
check
is-
I've used this for, and it gave me a motherfucking 1.
It's
Burn it.
because you haven't used it all that much.
13 plus 8. That
It
is
gave me
eight.
that-
It's equal
So
chance
it's
of
rolling
rolling
every
every
single
single
side of that die.
You
You just happen to roll once this time. Next time you'll roll different.
That's untrue.
Or
Or the same.
So
That's
16,
true.
he got
Straight to the
draw.
jar.
So, Atan just looks at it and is like, that looks like light. That looks like natural sunlight.
That's why.
Warden looks at it and says, that looks like light. I mean, I can't perfectly tell from here, but that looks like the end of the tunnel.
I send my goofy off flying cat down all the way to the end, and then try to communicate with me there. If I don't respond, to come back and tell me how
Okay.
far down it is.
How much faster is your cat's movement speed?
Flies at a speed of 40 feet without doing anything.
Okay,
Just
well, you guys
flying
are-
40 feet.
It'll get there not crazy far because you guys are all mounted, so you're moving at 30.
Oh, familiar
could.
No,
but
they can
it's-
take other actions.
You'll
as well.
still be like halfway there by the time.
What's our speed?
Your speed is like 30 to 40. Y'all are mounted.
Fair. And still.
Octavia's gonna wait
Serves
until
no
his Tressum gets like 30 feet down, and then she's just gonna take off after him. 'cause
How
she's
fast
got a
is yours?
60-foot
The
speed.
fuck?
Yeah.
Is that familiar? Or? Huh.
Yeah, that's familiar.
Make a dash.
So both the flying creatures go dashing down.
Is that your 60 with action dash?
No, that's the flying movement speed. So you guys keep on going. About an hour down the road, both familiars seem to
That's
meet
not
back.
bad. So we're about halfway there now.
You're about an hour,
And do
maybe
they,
an
they
hour.
communicate how far
They communicate
to our
that
current location?
from your current location, it's about an hour, hour and a half, and
How-
the sunlight's peeking through a small hole in seemingly a rubbled entrance.
Fuck. How long have we been going today?
Today, about 5 hours.
Okay, we can make it out of this. Okay. Hour left.
So,
Is there a way to where I can motivate the animals with animal handling to where they can go a little bit faster than meeting there in an hour?
sure.
I'm all for this. I am all for this. I
guys
am
can
all
both-
not. Or
Why
you
you
know.
help me?
What's he doing?
Both of you guys roll.
Okay,
Animal handling.
that's an 18.
Plus
19.
Alright, well, I mean, I got 17 plus 1.
17 plus 1 and a 19. You guys are able to, since they can ever so slightly see the light now, they do seem a little bit more motivated, so it's not too difficult to get them.
buddy.
Come on,
Let's
boy.
go, come on, buddy.
Yes, Warden.
The past, basically after I did my fumbling with playing with this gun,
Yeah.
I've been
Same thing.
reading my book
It is technically.
Oh, yeah?
for this whole stretch of
Days.
What you're reading?
Which book is
Just
this?
turns.
Mine was the bodily health.
Bodily health. I would say,
And I'd already read about. Hey, did you know how many hours you read your book before entering the cave?
2, 7, 11, and 0.
Because I had read mine like just a couple hours longer than that. That's all I remember. Or the same.
I don't remember how much you were reading. I'm pretty sure you guys were fairly equivalent.
Yeah.
They're like basically the same.
You guys were both at about 20 hours.
Yeah.
So,
2 days
tomorrow,
of travel.
well, actually, today, you have to do it in a span of 6 days, yeah?
Yeah, so that means
So today would have been the last day.
between today and yesterday, we would have had to have read 14 hours each day.
I'd say Warden would be able to do it since he's got a second person on the mount. I'm gonna go ahead and,
Roll up.
Unless you ask for help.
Sweet.
you know, I went high and low, and I picked low for you, and then I rolled a 1. So you're able to finish your book.
Oh, yeah.
Good one.
You can read.
I like to translate for him.
It's actually been in a different language the whole time. You
So
guys understood a single
you can add the plus automatically if you equip the book. So you
Yeah,
have
the
to-
plus automatically goes in if you equip.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, well that makes that easier.
So that changes Mikhail to. I didn't realize you only had an 18.
Yeah.
So you can still. Next level, probably, if you decide to go rogue, you could get to a 22.
I have a plus 5 to Constitution.
Like you needed more health.
After that last encounter.
Rose got almost 150 now.
144.
Yeah, I probably will go rogue.
I'll probably be closer to like
I mean,
160.
third
after
level
the next level.
spells and slots, but you're mostly using your deck stuff anyway.
Yeah.
So, as you guys continue, you get to the end of the tunnel. There is sunlight. For the first time in almost 3 days now, you guys see sunlight. And it's
Flip to
bright
my
as
sunglasses.
shit. Yeah, like you guys have to adjust to the sunlight. There is a large pile of rubble at the end of this tunnel.
Fabricate, make a tunnel. And do 8 connected 5-foot cubes.
What are you doing?
Fabricate to make a tunnel through the rubble.
You could do that.
Yeah, I can do 8 connected 5-foot cubes.
So that would be 40 feet.
Yeah, you can use it for making bridges.
Yeah,
and
you'd
stuff
be
like
able
that.
to get to the other end.
5 foot. John
8
wouldn't fit
connected
through.
5-foot cubes.
John.
There's nothing. How far would it? I mean, there's nothing saying I can't double stack the cubes and make it 4 long.
No,
This is 8 connected.
It's
5.
about 15 or so feet thick. I'm sure you could maneuver it.
I could
You
double stack them and do 4, so about 20 foot long.
Yeah.
And it would be 10 feet tall.
You just
Yeah.
have the barbarian just headbutt.
That would take a shit ton of time. This is obsidian.
As if
This is not obsidian.
Huh?
This is just rock.
And it's still just
Rock and rubble. A fabricate would do the job.
yeah.
So you go ahead and you cast fabricate, and the wall kind of almost pushes against itself and like condenses itself on the sides, or moves itself into little balls that can be easily pushed out of the way. And as you guys look outside, you hear the howling, screeching wind as there is an active blizzard on this side of the tunnel. And all of you are immediately just hit with this intense sense of cold. And you all have to put on an extra layer on top of what you were
We did
already
buy all
wearing.
the warm clothes.
You bought all the warm clothes for a reason.
Puts on the fingerless gloves.
Puts on the fingerless gloves.
And now I'm good.
Okay, I
Because
say
I already had the jacket on.
I say we spend the rest of the night here, wait for the storm to pass.
It's hard to tell what time of day it is since it's an active snowstorm.
But we have been traveling
About 7 hours, right?
However, as this opens, Mike Borden, as you guys are kind of peering out into the snowstorm, you see almost like a wooden built post right outside the door.
Would I see this
Fine.
since I'm right in front?
we're talking
Yeah,
just-
sure. I'll give it to you as well. And they just have the highest passive perceptions.
I
so
set
give it
my
to them.
familiar
I
out
also
too.
have.
What do you have?
I also
Look
have
for-
the eagle eye goggles.
Yeah.
Look through my familiar's eyes. What's it look like?
It's a wooden post.
Does it say like
It's-
signed,
it-
or is it just a wooden
It,
T?
it's a T-post, seemingly with a board attached to it. That from
Ready?
where
Oh,
you
okay.
are,
I'm sending my
you're
familiar out.
familiar.
to
You
it.
said you're familiar out, and there appears to be some kind of note attached to the board.
Can I read it?
No, like it's
Is
bound,
26.
like it's almost like an envelope, like a leather envelope.
Yeah.
That's just set there.
Oh, can you grab it?
Yeah, so he can go ahead and pull it off. It seems to be nailed in, so he kind
Okay.
of rips at it and pulls it off, and then shivers and shakes some snow off as he
Dies
puts it
of
back in.
cold.
I was gonna
before
say,
you get back.
conveniently, just like becomes frozen solid.
Nah.
But he is able to bring this kind of like leather-bound envelope
I
back. into
open it up.
You open it up. Okay. There does seem to be a note inside.
I take it out.
Who's
And
addressed
what
to?
language is it in?
It appears to be in the common tongue.
Common. And yeah, is there any stamp on it? Any seal? Guys,
There
any
is a
sigils?
seal on the outside that you do not recognize.
Are you sure I don't recognize
Does Bram
it?
recognize it?
Bram, as you turn over, it's almost like a scroll inside of this, and the seal is a 4-clawed talon on a black field with a gray talon, and in its talons are what seemingly is like an amalgamation of animals.
I start reading the note.
So you break the seal and you open it up. Do you read it out loud?
No. No, yeah, I read it out loud.
If you don't read it out loud, Warden's just gonna pick
Yeah.
you up.
I read it out loud.
So as you open it, Gorsh reads out, "Your fighting skills are admirable. However, you have become the hunted. This is your last chance. Enter the tunnel again. Keep yourselves in the warmth of the south. I have no need to destroy you, but will if you keep to these snows. I will hunt you, and you will never see me coming. Your deaths will be the subsequent. Your subsequent deaths will mean the doom of this minor squabble. I will end you.
Well, it's definitely from the dragon.
If you leave now, I will even restrain Santhara from hunting you in the future. But if you stay, even if some of you happen to survive, they will be slaughtered by her children, slowly and unable to flee."
What a bitch.
It's fun.
I would really like a new
Whoa.
dragon-bound spell book.
Wow, we won't be able to see him coming. If only we had a ring.
You can sense his general direction, but you cannot.
You'll never see it come back.
But it would be easier
It's
to
gonna
not
be
get
easier.
surprise attacked if we know his general direction.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably hear him.
Yeah.
Well, unless it's a
No,
blizzard.
it's a howling
Howling
blizzard.
blizzard.
Right now, it's a howling.
And
blizzard.
also,
Doesn't mean it's
reckon-
always gonna be.
What if
Recognize,
he's
you
causing
guys
that
have been
blizzard?
told about the Grey Dragon being like the most natural draconic hunter.
Okay.
So he's going to be the stealthiest dragon.
Okay.
Their whole shtick is they get the jump on you.
Got it. Got it. Banish.
I would just grab my ring and see where, if it pings.
It does not.
Jacks off the ring. It does not ping at all.
It does not ping.
It's a 5 mile.
Oh.
It's,
So he's not within 5 miles.
That's good.
So where are we heading to?
We sleep in
We
here.
are going to rest one more time.
I'm going to set up
Maybe.
the dome. Do you want me to set the dome to where it blocks the entrance?
Sure.
Okay. I set it right to block, and then obviously the inside of the dome is climate controlled, as it says under the spell.
yes, it is very climate
It
controlled.
is pristine.
That AC is
69 degrees.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
It's about
It's actually 50 degrees right around.
Zach,
I'm cold resistant. Does it matter?
actually,
Psychic resistance.
can we discuss with the party real quick? Obviously, we're going to attempt to kill this
Well,
dragon.
obviously.
Or is there any objections?
Anyone want to not kill a dragon?
Any objections?
I know that he's the evil kind of
He just
dragon.
threatened us with death.
Think about this. To get to the dragon, you'll probably get
Some
into
of
a
you
giant
may
spider.
die.
That is a sacrifice I am willing to make.
Okay. We're
Alright.
fine with
Anyway.
this.
I right now.
Okay, well,
What's with
we're gonna need
this?
more reinforcements. Since we are starting to take a long rest, I'm going to bada bing, bada boom. Since we've moved through the days so fast, I haven't been able to like prep my spells, and then like I can't say, oh well, yesterday I had it prepped and I wanted to cast that, but we moved too fast. Either way, I was wanting to cast this once we got to the end of the tunnel. So,
What are we gonna cast?
planar ally.
Planar ally. How long does that last?
As long as I make the contract,
Oh.
I have to pay him in some way, shape, or
Well,
form.
let me just do this. Summon Greater G. Bulgur.
March.
This is okay. You beseech another worldly entity for aid. The being must be known to you, a god or primordial demon, prince. Blah blah blah. Obviously, it's gonna be gone. That entity sends a celestial, an elemental, or a fiend loyal loyal to it to aid you, making the creature appear in an occupied space within range. If you know a specific creature's name, you can speak that name when you cast the spell to request that creature, though you might get a different creature anyways.
Straight to the jar.
It is no compulsion to behave in any particular way. You can ask them to a creature to perform a service in exchange for payment, but is not obligated to do so. The requested task could range from simple things to complex. You must be able to communicate with it.
So
Payments can take a variety of forms.
Gambling dice.
yeah, it would be considered up to 10,000 gold pieces per day, or something of equivalent
Look, that's a
value.
gambling dice already.
In more
This is my
simple
gambling
means.
set.
What does Warden intend to put up as payment?
Detaches an arm.
He puts.
Detaches his lower arms.
No.
God be my
Um,
arms.
Well, the problem is Warden doesn't know how quickly this guy's gonna doop and dupe. How
Well-
much gold do I have on?
Give me your general thought process, because I'm gonna take this as like the material component of the spell, even though there isn't one. It's like you prepare what you have to give, and then you come and the bargain begins. You set the initial
Come.
bid.
Okay.
You have a bunch of.
It's usually it's like
You have a bunch of
I
refined bars.
envision like he pops up
and then we chit chat.
How about
And make a
this?
contract.
What is your intention to use this creature for? Like,
To
what is its job?
aid in our fight
To aid in our fight.
against to get the heart of this dragon.
To acquire the heart of the dragon.
Yes.
So as you finish this 10 minutes of casting time, do you do it in the Happy Fun Ball, or
No.
do you go back into the tunnel?
Yeah.
Okay, so you go back into the tunnel,
Let's see what Gone gives us, boys.
and as you
It
finish,
could be anything.
as you finish casting this spell, just as you have whenever you've attempted to commune with God in the past, almost a ripple in reality tears, and it is that like man's face on the end of a green snake that is there. Literally just a face, the snake, and a
Hey,
pair of white
Just so I can
angelic
envision this
wings.
better, every time I summon this guy, is that snake face guy? Is he just like sitting there mogging while looking at me?
He's actively like
Lock-
flying
just-
in empty space.
No, his face. He's locking in.
Quetzalcoatl?
I do not know actually what they're called. I will look it up though.
I think that's yeah, that sounds alright. I remember from Persona.
Oh,
I want to look it up.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's an Aztec flying bird snake.
Yeah.
It does.
What did you
From the German just came out of him like no other.
I swear.
Yeah, I'll have to either find or make my own. I'm probably gonna make my own.
Well, if it has a man's face, it
no,
won't be
basically
exact.
mogging is the Gen
Oh
the
fuck this.
Gen
Fuck
A
this.
alpha term for
Fucking
Oh,
mewing
the Chad
lock-
face?
mewing, just like locking in and
Yeah.
doing the Chad face. It usually is associated with
No.
with
I'm
edging.
so this creature actually has a very, very calm and almost like
so I wanted it to be
kind
buff.
looking face.
That, but with a dude's face.
That, but with a man's face.
Yep.
Yes.
Because that's a Quetzalcoatl.
Yeah.
So it's not exactly a
I know.
Quetzalcoatl. but
I
it's-
think this is technically a homebrew I cooked up a while ago based off of both that and an actual D&D creation. Either way, as he appears, yes, Warden. You have a request of me.
I wish for aid in our upcoming battle with the ancient dragon.
And what do you have as payment?
I list the exact amount of gold I have on my person. I list the large variety of gems and jewels that I have in my bag, etc. So, as like
To
monetary.
separate me from my divine service for a time, it will require a heavy cost. I sense around you a great amount of crafting materials.
Yes. I
How
can
much
offer
gold do you have on you?
17,522.
Oh right, yes.
But we're also surrounded by a lot of adamantium and pearl in this general
Yes.
vicinity. I can offer some of that too.
So he continues to request my service for a time until this is done, since it may be a day, it may be a week. We may have to renegotiate in a few days. However, as of now, the materials you gained from the obsidian mine, that being your adamantine, mithril, your obsidian, along with 5,000 gold pieces, would more than suffice for the first few days.
Understood, Blessed One.
You may call me Simon.
It is nice to finally make your acquaintance.
It is certainly an experience, Gordon. You are a quite creative and unique creature of God. watch over as you rest. However, I must say, I do believe the creature you are hunting could likely evade my general senses until he's very close upon us.
Understood. I will take sentry as well.
Alright. And as he says that, he
Comes
flies
into existence.
and he pulls in through this. He's actually not that large.
Damn.
He's maybe only 7 or 8 feet long. You wouldn't even consider this a really large creature. This is not a very big thing.
So he's like the size of like.
So
maybe-
he's about the length of this table, about maybe
So 6
2 or
feet.
3 feet in diameter. This is an 8-foot table.
It is?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it doesn't look it, I know.
Yeah,
About
feel
2 or
taller than
3 feet in diameter with the face at the end and 2 wings that have massive jagged claws on their ends that are almost hidden beneath his feathers. And as he goes around the tiny hut, as he is not permitted to be in there, he goes out into the snowstorm. And as he is, he turns to you and says, I will patrol outside for a time. I still must rest in some regards. I will be back in a few hours.
Gordon nods. Everyone else just see the lizard just.
Yeah,
How
so
thick is this boy? Like, what's his girth?
he's 2 or 3 feet thick. Like he's
Oh shit.
he's actually pretty girthy for how
a
long he
fucking
is.
He's a chode.
He's an absolute chode.
So you guys see Warden
8 by
step
2
back,
foot.
step back into the mine and seemingly just freeze, looking into empty space for about 5
He's just
minutes.
a celestial ripple
And
in
then
space.
all of a sudden, this ripple appears to you guys, and like almost crawling through is this giant snake with angelic wings and nasty green scales, and just flies out with a man's face, which is rugged in some regards, but very
Does he have
beautiful,
human
you would
hair?
almost say. Yes, he does have human hair on his
Oh.
head.
Does he have a beard?
Can his face look like
He is
can he look like
clean
He-Man? He-Man is
actually
cleanly shaven.
Actually, how I imagine him is like bright blonde hair, with a very, very comely but handsome face.
He's
What
He-Man.
you would almost call beautiful, and very symmetrical, very jagged jawline. So yeah, you could say he has the face similar to that of He-Man.
Fucking a ton drinking. So, what the fuck is that?
And you see, as it goes, it turns as it's still flying and says something to Warden as it just flies out the door.
Do I have to let that into? Do I need to? Does that need to be let inside of here?
I literally just flew through it, so.
Well, no, he said
No,
it
it
flew
flew
around
around it because it wasn't able to go inside.
Does that need to be able to come in here? You seem to be comfortable with it, so I guess I'm okay with it.
I don't have that type
That
of
is-
sword to deal with that.
That is.
Ed says, "What the fuck?"
That would be Simon, the right.
Simon, my ass. What the hell was that?
So the
The
Simon,
right hand of God.
The right hand of Gond.
he uses the left plenty enough.
I'm just gonna close these.
Does
We're almost done anyway.
Do I need to have that thing come in here? Do you want me to allow it in?
I prefer that snake not be where I sleep.
Well, it's whatever he says.
Enough room and he can communicate to me without entering.
I only have 2 swords. One for a giant and one for a dragon. That's neither. What the fuck was that?
Here, let me
That
show
is
you
a
some-
friend.
Okay, that's all.
Ram
It
says-
just puts both swords back and just starts drinking again.
I have given him payment. to
Bram
this.
says, "This is quite unique. That was a seraph."
A seraph? What?
Alright, look it up.
Seraphat!
No, it's Homebrew. Like, that's
For
not
fuck's
that.
sake.
It's a seraph. Or a seraph.
You
It is
are
an
well
ancient-
studied.
You do recognize my heritage as angelic as well. I am an Azimar.
Oh shit, he's an Asimov?
Yeah.
I didn't fucking know that.
Glowy eyeballs? Kind of a
Just-
telltale.
Just like
I've got
all,
blue eyes. I don't fucking know.
any of the Katanit nobility is Azimarian.
Oh.
And we can, or at least some of us, can trace our descendancy to gods before the divine gate was laid. Now, the Erios cannot, but others can.
Quick question for you. Do you think we may be able to, I don't know, compare spell books? You may be able to teach me some things? I'd
I
be very
am not a
interested.
caster.
You seem to have some experience in the arcane.
I have knowledge. I'm well studied, but
As I
I
said,
had no skill in the magic arts.
Ah.
You're like me then.
I don't think you should compare
you
yourself
can maybe
to
ask
me.
the other 3 spellcasters.
I'm not saying I'm
4
skilled at
actually. We
fighting.
have
I
a,
was I would be better.
I'm trying to
but
find someone with a spell book
He
that's like the
eyes
spell
you
written.
with
You guys
daggers,
have it in
like
your head.
radiant
Warren has
daggers
perfect
looking at
melee
you.
now, technically.
Well, I mean, like, you
Yeah.
You're bigger.
All of his divine
I
books.
mean-
he has all his divine books on.
you're a melee type.
Yes.
Okay, that's all I was meaning. I wasn't saying
It wouldn't
what
be a
was better
scroll,
was
though.
worse.
No, it
It'd be
doesn't
better
have to be a
if you-
scroll. I just have to copy it over to our
You're
high
giving yourself
quality
a deeper
paper with
grade.
magic.
I'll just keep drinking, and it just goes back.
Yeah,
You haven't been on Magic Game?
No, I
drank
sniffed
he
it.
sniffed
I
regular.
sniffed it.
So,
Didn't drink.
Anyway.
as you guys kind of settle into this rest, we are going to go ahead and end this
And
session.
just really quick.
Zach, I've been thinking about this, and since we are gonna enter a long rest, can I do one more thing?
Sure.
Oh,
Alright,
Don't
Craig,
break it, you
after
can't.
seeing someone summon something before long rest, I think that's a good idea. So he's gonna go outside and summon 192 ravens.
192 ravens.
Okay, and the point of this is?
He's going to instruct all of them after releasing this horde. I want you to go and see if you can find the dragon. Specifically not the lizard, because they can take this instruction, says they'll listen to anything I say.
It's an angel.
Not that lizard thing. But I want you to go and see if you can find the dragon. If you see it, come back. If not, stay away.
These things aren't gonna last 5 minutes.
Okay, so
Now go, my children.
So
Bukake.
conjure, and also that would be 16, 32.
Easier.
That would only be 64, no?
So I believe
It's a third level
Raven.
spell, and you can upcast it to 6th, which would be
Yep.
1, 2, 3. So, 8.
So I get to do 8 of them, right?
8 times 2 is 16, times 2 is 34, times 2 is 64, and that's a 6th level casting.
I read that I'm not doing a single raven. I'm doing a stat block for a flock of ravens, or what is it called?
Oh.
Huh.
So swarm of ravens is a 1/4 challenge
Oh,
rating.
that's kinda...
Their hit points are 24, so I'm assuming there's 24 ravens, since the 0 challenge rating for just one raven is only 1 hit point. Is that fair?
So, what it's saying is anything 1/4 unless you can spawn up to 8 of them. I mean, this is just semantics. It's still a huge flock of ravens, even if it's only 60.
It would be funnier though if it was over.
So the swarm of ravens isn't one creature?
No.
If you know those
If
labels
you
as
scroll
such.
farther down, it says in the 0 CR section, it is a singular raven that you can spawn. Raven is in the list, and it's not swarm of, it's not flock of, it is raven.
We're just gonna say it's at least.
Come on.
Oh, there's only certain things that I can conjure anyway. I didn't know that.
I mean, you generally stick to this, and I'm not going to let you conjure a whole flock as a singular creature. You can spawn up to 8
That's
CR
fair.
quarter or less creatures. So this is 64 ravens.
Still a shit ton of ravens.
That's still a lot. I really like the thought of doing 8 groups of 24, but...
Warden.
Alright, I'm gonna send them into the woods to see if they can find the dragon. If they don't, then they won't come back.
What level did you cast that at?
I casted 6.
Okay, so go ahead and mark that in. Don't take a long rest yet. There's going to be a couple more things
Okay.
as we start next session.
Warden is. We'll get it. We'll get it next session.
Okay, so going to sleep. Going to sleep.
Octavia just sees all that, looks at that, looks at him, looks at that, looks at me, squawks, and then goes, takes her position down the tunnel.
Down the tunnel. Nice.
And quick
Warden's gonna set up his bond warding cliff.
Am I able to...
In the tunnel or outside? Outside.
He said he has perfect memory and has the books for all of his arcane spells. Would he be able to teach them to me?
Well, I have my
divine books.
Get
Technically, I'm allowed to learn.
Your spells are
Divine
not
spells.
learned through books.
Yeah, I know, but it's just divine books.
Yeah, they're divine books. Like, he can teach you about religion, and he can teach you some of that, and maybe give you a bonus to your arcana and such.
Could he technically teach
He would not be
me
able to teach you
spell?
spells.
No, because I'm technically still able to learn divination spells.
Yeah, you would be unable to learn his spells.
His spells specifically.
Those are his spells are all given through divine magic. It's not a I performed this incantation in this somatic and material components and boom, it's there. It's a Jesus, take the wheel. Jesus, take the wheel.
Would A6 know? He knows-
A6 would know a little bit more, but guess what? A6 is also not a spellcaster.
No, he's not.
No, he was more of an artificer with minor magical capabilities to create.
Do you have all of your memory?
Back now, yes.
So he has perfect memory. Would he remember any spells he's seen in the past?
Rose got 2 months of memory and 99% of it was in solitude.
Oh, so he would have no fucking clue.
He has minor fucking clue.
Oh,
Let's just say.
I was hoping.
Let's
maybe
just say
you'd
that
see-
I created a lot of things,
Ah,
and I had expertise in
And he was
glyphing.
and A6 was also more of the
Well, sorry, runes.
more of the blueprint guy than the
I was the
builder.
yeah no, yeah, and I was particularly good at rooting things.
If only you would have peeked over a few more wizard shoulders.
he didn't really have the option. He literally was like an AI slave.
I wasn't sentient at the time.
So we're going to go ahead and end here. I've got some bullshit to make over the next week.
Nice.
So yeah, this was a little bit slower. If it isn't obvious, I was kind of trying to delay a combat so that Nari would be here for the start of that, and that way we wouldn't have to start a combat without a full party.
Makes
so,
it sound like we're gonna get ambushed.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. 64 crows.
I'm thinking. Almost like there's
If you want to roll this, but if you take the average roll of all 64 of those d20s, you get 11.17, and if you want to have a modifier, which is 3, then they roll out of 14 altogether. I don't really know how you want to do that, but that's an option.
they see nothing.
They die in 2 seconds. They're
Okay,
ravens.
so I'm gonna go ahead and end the recording.